Wichita, Blackfoot, I'm the 97 on the smoky, you know, we the whole biggest OG, coming to earth on the ground of the home and hot talk, Shinnecock, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Wichita, Blackfoot, I'm the 97 on the smoky, you know, we the whole biggest OG, coming to earth on the ground of the home. Like an eagle on like this DMV, and says that the top right in front of me. I'm on a dynasty living inside me. This bird shepherd, make a greatness. That wild natural style, rain dance out of the moon. I grew up early days, this thing from Spain to Panama. Still ahead of y'all, never racing, just go pacing to the top of the throne. We stand tall, y'all, never lazy. Clap, 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 clap. All the motherfucking shit is hot, hot, hot. Have a little bit deep, but never retreat. KK, it's Dogo Talk, y'all. Shots are riding, we awake, every screaming, deep, beaming, bloodshot, lightsaber walker, walk talker, never die. So all that gun talk, Shinnecock, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Wichita, Blackfoot, I'm a 97 on the smoky, you know, we the whole biggest OG, coming to the sword, ground of the home, and I talk, Shinnecock, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Wichita, Blackfoot, I'm a 97 on the smoky, you know, we the whole biggest OG, coming to the sword, ground of the home, John, an entire city block, big buffalo, expect shock shit. I'm a modern rock, can't stop to refer for raw. Indigenous rock, they need a champions, race war dance, trans, and a glance. Anyone who plans as the sugar war dance, for the dance, you 7th out, the roach coat, out. All before the and the rappers go in the South Square, compass and travel. These spaces taking holes, disrespecting ancestors, selling their souls to those. I'll raise my glass, make a toast, and have a ritual post. Cosmos, that's most me, that's on top of wounded knee, bandaged up, black hawk, what's up, son of most go. We taking it back from the tomb of the bones, women coming in the rooms, and it's cool like, oh man, I talk shit, and I'm Chickasaw, Choctaw, Wichita, Blackfoot, I'm the 97 on the smoky, you know, we the whole biggest OG, nothing to respond, ground of the home, and I talk Shinnecock, Chickasaw, Choctaw, Wichita, Blackfoot, I'm the 97 on the smoky, you know, we the whole biggest OG, nothing to respond, ground of the home, like the sunshine, I'm about to begin, and I'm also on the hand, that's what it is, you know, my portion. Bitch, give me my land back. We signed no contracts, why you wasting all of our trust funds? We don't know who your daddy is, but we know who your kid is. Take the food off of my plate, leave that shit with my flow. This is what we all praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. Give him all praises. Give him all praises. This is what all praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. Give him all praises. Give him all praises. Hey, 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 all praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. Give him all praise. Give him all praise. This is what we all praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. Give him all praises. Give him all praises. Hey, hey, peace, 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 peace. We're now rocking with Brother Hanu, aka A1, aka Thompson's one. And I got another episode with the Brother Jack Ball, Brother AP, the American Indian Contribution, Encyclopedia. We're gonna be going in on a little bit more. Hopefully we probably try to get this finished out tonight. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Sure, everybody good. Let's stop sharing for 1 second. There you go. Good, AP.
Peace, 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 love, and light. Can everybody hear me loud and clear?
Word.
That's what's up. You sound a little muffled, A1.
Shouts out muffled. You get me? Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, man. Peace, love, and light, man. We got a nice little treat for everybody. Nice little jam, man. So this the Sunday's lessons for today. American Indian Encyclopedia. Hope everybody got your pens and paper out, taking notes to this primary research.
Indeed, yeah, so quick. Word, man.
All right, so
man. Salute to y'all too, man. Glad to be on the panel, man. Y'all already know.
indeed. What's good, everybody? Good.
Yeah.
All right, so the last one we left off at. Let me see. Last video we did, we left off on stonemasonry techniques. 10,000 BC, Mesoamerica, North America, Southeast, Southwest, South America, and then culture. I'm just going to kind of just brush through it, what we talked about on it. And then if you gentlemen be so kind to go on to the next one. If you scroll through to see what you guys want to build on. Here.
Word, man. I think, did we do stretches? Oh, no, I know that was next.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Do whatever you want. I just want to make sure, like, if you want to run back through stonemasonry again, you still with us, AP, right? I'm saying let's go
Yeah,
on.
I'm still with y'all.
All right, you want to go back in on this one, or you want to one of y'all want to go back because this is something that was kind of important.
Yeah.
So if you guys want to start back on this one and then go to the next one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
we
got to. All right, so I was going to do it, but since you're going to go on the whole thing, I know AP always talk about it. You got a little bit, you know what I'm saying? You know a lot about the techniques and everything. So, of course, go good on it. I'm going to mute my mic.
word, man. Stone masonry, man. We all know it is a high form of building. You know what I'm saying? It takes math. It takes being able to angle, being able to, you know, cut precisely if need be. I don't even think they had to on many occasions, but who knows? I know it was mostly the Inca being talked about, but we'll get into it, man. You want me to just kind of just breeze through it a little bit, or how you want to do it? You want me to go through the whole thing?
Yeah, man, I mean, I mean, whatever you want. I mean, however you want to do it, brother. Go ahead.
All
Just,
right.
I'm going to let you share your screen, though. You want to share yours, or?
Yeah, I'm sharing it now.
All right, hold up. Oh, okay. All right. Let me stop sharing mine. Go ahead. Let me click on yours. There you go. So I'm gonna mute my mic. Go ahead.
Word, man. Shout out to AP on this, man. I know this is his main thing, the stone masonry. You know what I'm saying? Especially like,
Yeah,
you know, the,
absolutely. You want me to continue?
yeah, you can if you want. It's up to you, man. It don't matter.
All
I'm right.
right. I'm not screen sharing, so we're gonna go down to the next column, page 250. We're gonna start reading a little bit. Stone buildings coated with lime. The Aztecs sometimes used lime plaster or concrete to attach decorative veneer of rocks to the surface of stone buildings. So what they're saying is we got creative. You know, we just didn't make us a plain rock structure and left it as that. We decorative. We made it a design unique to the eye. The Anasazi stone workers built with stone throughout the Southwest. In addition, their stonework at Chaco Canyon in what is now New Mexico, most notably are their towers at Hovens Peak in what is now Utah, built about 1150 AD. So, you know, that's one of the later structures, 1150 AD. So, you know, these tall structures stand like sentinels in the mouth of the canyons, made from roughly cut stones. The towers are circular, square, and D shaped. Have you ever seen a D shaped shit? Come on, man. That's very unique to make something D shaped. The
Word.
first European explorers to see them believed them to be castles. Hold on, let me run that back. The Europeans believed to hold on, let's run that back. They built them in D shape. The first European explorers to see them believed them to be castles, although the archaeologists speculate that these towers may have been for defense. Okay, similar to a fort. So if it's not a castle, it's a fort. We
Sure.
most cities got a place called Fort Knox, Fort Henry, Fort Murray. It's a lot of places out there. And look for the center city or the old town, right? You'll find these particular structures in these old forts that they turn to make.
Wait a minute. You said it's a what?
Well, they said they built. Let's run it back one more time. These tall structures stood like sentinels in the mouth of the canyons, made from roughly cut
In the
stone.
mouth of the hold up, the
Tower,
mouth of the canyon. Look, in the mouth of the canyon. But I told you the mouth of the ridges, the rivers.
right?
Like I told you, if you look at the Statue of Liberty, the Statue of Liberty is sitting on a starfort. That starfort is at the mouth of the Hudson River. And this is where these places would have been at. Just like when you see the America in its earliest depiction, that first page when these people arrive, and they're arriving like this shit is on a bay, like, and it's a star fort sitting on a bay with a canyon sticking out. That's what I'm saying. Like, when you're dealing with this history, like, this is like a little bit more vast than just the modern, the modern Indian shit that we have. We did this stuff predates what we got now, the technology we have now. You know what I'm saying? So definitely respect as well. I see constant, like, saying where's the information? Shit, that's all we've been doing, dropping information like always. So, but bro, continue doing what you're doing, bro.
You absolutely right, man. I'm glad you touched on that because we got to make emphasis on these buildings, right? Because they said that they was large towers, right? Some of them circular, some of them square, and some of them were D-shaped. And the Europeans first seen them, thought them to be castles, but the archaeologists believed that they was meant for defense, which will make them a fort. And they was all made out of adobe, which is the same material that the apartments and the pyramids are made out of, which makes you jump to the conclusion that this was a normal material that our people felt comfortable with, right? Because it was organically made and created by the peoples of this land. The Anasazi also used stone in their buildings in conjunction with adobe. Sometimes stone was used as a filler for adobe, right? So sometimes uh, when they didn't have enough adobe, they would use stone. Okay. In other instances, the Anasazi faced adobe buildings with stone. The Inca, who lived in what is now Peru, in the Quachi room of Inca conquered, carried out art stone workings to the high in the New World because Inca buildings uh, from such a similar pattern throughout the empire. Hold on just a second. I apologize. Throughout the empire, archaeologists believe that they were built according to the plans they were erected by the state. One of these stone buildings and fortresses of Sada Sada Human is also the large and considered one of the largest single structures erected by indigenous people anywhere in the world. Okay. So let's just make that clear. Began in AD 1438 AD. The building took 70 years and at least 30,000 workers to complete it. All right, this was a project. This would have been the same project and the same uh, impact that it would have been to going in and building the Twin Towers, right? The Alpha Tower, the Empire State Building. These particular things. So this would have been done uh, roughly around 1,000 to 1,400 years ago on a large level, right? Hiring 30,000 workers, paying them, right? And it took 70 years, so it would have been uh, uh, generations of families that would have been working on this, similar to you see families working at plants and father and son work at the plant together, and then it moves on like that. So this is a system that's been in place by our ancestors, and it just keep on being routine. It's embedded in our DNA. Let's go. A great deal of planning and skill went into the Inca stone structure. In additional to building models and Manique, I don't know what the fuck that is, during the planning processes of their construction projects, Inca stone masons are believed to have used metal wires and tapes to determine the exact dimensions to which stones needed to be cut. That's called geometry. That's making sure that it's on point. I'm talking about supreme masonry, right? Fuck taking a motherfucking ruler. We're gonna take some wire or some tapes, right? We're gonna make tape, and that's what they get measuring tape from the process of our ancestors using this, right? To making sure they got the right dimensions, right? Come on, man. You ain't understanding this geometry. So let's go. Which cut out stones throughout the precision of the instance. Oh, my bad. And one such tape is the archaeologist museum at Cusco. Inca workers fitted stones together precisely. In some instances, carving the upper faces of stones so they will fit exactly into the preceding courses, right? So they was cut so precise that once they dropped, it locked in. The fit of the stones were so tight it is impossible to push a knife blade or even a razor blade into the joints between the blocks. So that's just a little bit of stone masonry. Oh, y'all got the book. If you don't got the book, we'll drop it at the end of this video. We're gonna proceed to get to the next one. It's a lot of reading we're gonna do. We pretty much touched on what is stone masonry techniques. This is just a few, and I would like to go down to some of the sources, if you don't mind, whoever's screen sharing, and we can get to reading in some of these sources. So let's get to some of these sources down here. So we're gonna skip over a lot of this reading, and what I'm gonna do is I'm not screen sharing, so whoever in here gonna have to help me out. Uh, because I'm not even in here on my computer for some reason. All right, so I'm showing a picture of the Inca stone masons. It's actually a picture of a building, and it have a person sitting in front of it. I believe Jag is the brother A1 gonna be sharing, putting it up on the screen. It's a picture of a building,
I can't see it. Hold up. I can't see it.
well, you're gonna have to scroll down a little bit, whoever screen sharing. Uh I'm just describing the picture until you get there. Like I said, and what this picture is describing is exact techniques that was explained in what I just read. Precision, using tape, fine cutting to lock the blocks in to where they don't move. I mean, so fine that a razor blade or a knife blade would not be able to push through, which is also highlighted right up under that. So I'm gonna get to reading this a little more. So this is an Inca stonemason used to call a technique used. All right, are you screen sharing?
Yeah, I am. I don't know if it's up there or not.
Nah, you showing something else. It's right up under stone masonry.
We said the connection. Somebody said it's something that's up with the
Yeah,
connection.
keep going
Y'all,
down. Keep
hold up.
keep going down, Jack. It's I'm gonna give you the exact page. It's 251 right there. There you go.
Yo,
Uh,
mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. Can y'all hear me?
yeah, I hear you at A1.
All right, hold up. Somebody said the.
Yeah, somehow I got kicked out. I don't know how, but that's why
Yeah,
I
hold
don't.
up.
Somebody said this Corey Mayo information. Boy, you must be smoking dick. Boy, this our information. We brought this shit out to the people. Let's go. Let's continue this. Uh, Shout out to the people, man, that's doing the work in the community though. Inca stone masonry used technique called cellular stonework. This involved carving blocks into polygons and setting them so they will interlock. They cut the stones with such precision it is impossible to push a razor blade through the blocks today. And you can check this actual picture out. It's in the Library of Congress. And for your sources, you can go check out Michael D. Cole, America's First Civilization, Discovery of the Olmec. You can go check out Alvin M. Joseph Jr. And it's called The World of the Indian People Before the Arrival of Columbus. And it's a bunch of other sources that's highlighted right below this picture that the brother Jaguar is showing. So we're gonna move on to the next one, man. We're gonna get ready to pull up storage crop. So whoever want to take on storage crop, let's get it. Bang that like button, y'all. It's a heavyweight jam.
The storage crop is so down. It's AC crop storage, so you got to go back to the C's for that one. I guess we just do stretches next.
Yeah, just keep it moving, man. Y'all know, you know how we do it. We're just picking, the ones that's clearly relevant because a lot of them would reference you back to or past past
Yeah,
word or past term something.
I do stretches then right quick. Uh, of course, pre-contact. Who would known that we was carrying people who were injured. Back and forth on some stretches. You know what I'm saying? Let's get it. North American, Northeast, and California, Mesoamerican, South American, Andean cultures. It says a stretcher is a device that is used for transporting injured people one at a time. It is composed of two long poles with a long piece of strong fabric stretched between them. This fabric allowed the stretcher to be folded when not in use. North American, Northeast, and the California tribes used stretchers. The Inca, whose cultures arose in about 1000 AD in what is now Peru, also used stretchers to transport the wounded or ill. The poles of these stretchers were made of wood, and more than likely the cloth was made of cotton. The Inca were noted for cloth making. It says, see also weaving techniques. Pre-contact American Indians invented the stretcher for medical use independently of any other cultures. Okay. It says the Inca also used litters to transport royalty. The Maya, whose culture rose in what is now Mexico in 1500 BC, used litters for this purpose as well. It says, see also medicine. So, you know, of course, if we had hospitals and all that, it would make perfect sense. You got that succotash next, though. I don't know if you want to get into that A1, your nutrition. You know what I'm saying? You there, bro?
Yeah, I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right here. Hold up. Let me just hold on. Let me see something real quick. Just keep it right there on your screen, cause I ain't gonna shit. All
All
right,
right.
well, uh, I ain't going. Succotash is, just nutrients. Said was prepared by the Algonquin-speaking tribes of North American Northeast. Said often they added game meat or fish as well. Said American Aborigines boiled soup with succotash by dropping hot stones into large cooking vessels made of soapstone or wood. Nancy Garrett, who taught the colonists to make the dish, called it missecotage. European immigrants must have liked the culinary creation. They named they named a Rhode Island town after Succotash Point. All right, so let me change that to your brief touch on Succotash. So you got sugar, maple syrup, and sugar cane, artichokes. I don't know if people like artichokes, but that's something that's popular. Jerusalem artichokes, sunflowers, go back to 3000 BC. Um, well, you got sunscreen right here. I'll get into. Let me see something. I'll get into this.
Sunscreen.
Share your screen. Share your hold on. Watch it. Let me see something.
Let me pass right here. There you go.
All right, boom. We got a bunch of shit on this one right here. So look, do if you want, do sunscreen,
All
do
right.
suns, do sunscreen, and it's a few of them on that page. So if you don't after sunscreen, it's suppositories. So
Okay.
if you want to touch on all the whole page because it's also after suppositories, it's surgery. Let me
Right.
stop what surgery is. Shit, I go into surgery. So if you wanna, or I mean, whatever, I go. AP could go into surgery if you want. It's AP.
Okay.
So
That'll work.
let's
Oh,
start
we
from.
just we just keep it in the order that it's going now. We'll let Jag go, and then I guess I touch on surgery whenever we get there.
Yeah,
Okay,
that'll
all right.
work.
All right, so go hit that like button, y'all. Get them pen and papers up.
All right, yo. Medicinal sunscreens. Of course, pre-contact, you know, North American cultures. So they just saying basically just, North America. A sunscreen is a lotion, balm, salve, or potion that is applied to exposed skin in order to prevent sunburn. Most American Indian tribes developed sunscreens. What they used for this purpose depend on what was available where they lived. For example, the Zuni, who continued to live in what is now known as a sunscreen, said they ground the wallflower and mixed it with water. They then applied this preparation to the skin to prevent and to treat sunburn. Another botanical treatment that was used by Southwest tribes to treat sunburn was aloe vera, one of my favorite plants. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people still use this today, just for the skin, or mostly for the skin though. It basically it immediately tightens your skins up and rejuvenates from a burn or whatever. Now you can't put it on like just open flesh or nothing like that. Too bad. Not no deep flesh, but like any cut, straight burn. Aloe vera is one of my favorites. But it says a gel made from a type of agave plant. This is an ingredient in many sunburn and skin lotions sold in pharmacies today. In other parts of pre-contact North America, Indians use fats from animals and oil from fish or plants for sunscreens. I know we use bear fat for one, and of course fish oil, and, plants. It says Northeast tribes use oil that they obtain from sunflower seeds. American Indians who live near petroleum deposits in what is now Pennsylvania use that source for a skin protectant, about like Vaseline. A unique aspect of these sunscreens was that they served, let me go up, was that they served dual purposes. In the winter months, they were also used to prevent exposed skin from freezing, keep the skin from drying out, and prevent windburn. So, I mean, pre-contact, man. Go your sources right there. What I'm saying, I'm gonna get into suppositories. Of course, pre-contact, North American, Northeast culture. A suppositor is a small plug with medicinal properties. It is used by inserting into body cavities other than the mouth. Some North American Indian tribes use suppositories made from the dogwood tree. They moistened the bark and compressed it into a suppository that they inserted into the anus to treat hemorrhoids. Because the bark of the dogwood tree has an astringent properties, this was an appropriate treatment. Suppositories were not the only effective way pre-contact American Indians treated bleeding hemorrhoids. They also used syringes to inject astringents rectally. So there you have it. You wonder why, you get your, suppositories, you know what I mean? Your laxatives in that form. There you have it, man. That was pre-contact, man. I would have never known that. I would have never thought that. You know what I'm saying? But surgery is next, man. If, you know, one of y'all want to touch on that, man, we
And
just,
you got to look at the dates too, like as far as like if you measuring, like you know what I'm saying, like I mean this right here is information that it's up to the individual. Maybe this is not your cup of tea. Maybe you don't want to go that far. Drop the book and link and check it out. But for the ones that do, we can build upon it. And then like this is for historical aspects, like what I'm saying, to give yourself some type of talking points, because sometimes like I don't know. I be, sometimes you be running, you be trying to have these conversations among people who not willing to subscribe to it. So sometimes you need to have little reference points. I'm just saying, if this is what you do, you know what I'm saying? Because I've seen people when they start talking about America, they get shut right down. Because niggas like, yo, in Kemet, we had this. Or in Kemet, we had, you know what I'm saying? Start talking that shit. And then nigga don't know where to go, they be like, oh well, Indians had teepees. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, look, Indians had teepees, nigga, and then you get stuck. And like I said, me personally, because this is where this shit started for me. Like, I wasn't into debating no Aborigines. I'm into debating the motherfuckers who really got the real smoke for us.
That's
You know what I'm
right.
saying? Not, you know, not some sideshow type of shit. And I apologize to some of the subscribers, man, for the niggerism that, you know, sometimes you gotta stoop down to. You know, I really apologize to some of you guys, but sometimes this shit is necessary because it's like, you know, but the information is here, it's always been here. You know, limit. I don't make videos. I don't have to break down somebody's video for me to make a video. We got real content here, something that's tangible for the people according to their history. So along with genealogy, you need to know a little bit of your so-called history, because history, the word itself, is just fucking sideshow to begin with. But nonetheless, though, however it go, you still just go with genealogy. Okay, so you know you here. Now what? You don't think you want to study some of the ancient history, you know, because like I said, when people was dealing with Kemet, they knew everything about fucking Africa. Everything, but they knew nothing. So here goes Encyclopedia. We've been running this shit down. We all the way at S. We started probably about 2 years ago. So you know what I'm saying? Like I said, at the end of the day, put respect the information, get what you can get, keep it moving. So with that being said, we got surgery coming up, right?
Yep.
All right, where AP at?
Let's go. Let's go. I was just waiting. Y'all got it on there?
All right, you got it up there.
Yep. I see Jay got it up there. All right. Surgery is a division of medicine that is used instruments and invasive techniques to treat illness, injuries, and deformities. The practice of surgery had a long history in America before the arrival of Europeans. American Indian surgery was more sophisticated, that performed by the barber surgeons in the Europe at the time of contact. Although the Greeks and Romans had practiced surgery in medieval times, knowledge of their techniques was suppressed. Islamic physicians living in Spain had practiced surgery, and one of them, Al-Vakid, I don't know what the fuck that name is, I apologize, y'all, even wrote a surgical text. However, they expelled from Spain, excuse me, let me see. They expelled from Spain, and their discoveries ignored by the end of the Middle Ages. The most completed document operations that European surgeons performed were the limited numbers of Saracen C-sections or C-section, excuse me, I apologize, and the removal of the disease in the breast. And so pretty much, you know, they was doing you know, C-sections and getting rid of breast cancer uh at 1,000 BC. So you know that's 3,000 years ago. That if our women had a problem, they could definitely count on the indigenous doctor at that particular time. Okay, make sure y'all hit that like button, y'all. We just rocking out. So let's finish this up. Limited to C-section, the removal of disease in the breast. All right. In contrast, indigenous surgeons in South America, Mesoamerica, and North America was uh damn, I can't see. All right.
Got
The surgeons of South America, Mesoamerica, and North America was executing delicate, complex operations of using anesthetics, antibiotics, and medications to practice that were not used by the Europeans at that time. They also practiced, I can't even see that word, but it's highlighted. You can
sepsis.
highlight it. Yeah, sepsis, creating what is known today, what is known as sterile field for surgeons. So you know, pretty much the sterilization process, the zero filter rooms, and everything else like that. We're gonna scroll down just a little bit. I'm not gonna read all this, but I'm just gonna skim over just a little bit. I'm gonna highlight the part right up under. I'm just gonna read these next two paragraphs. The Aztec, whose empire was established in what is now Mexico about 1100 AD, not only performed C-sections but also removed cataracts from the eyes, right, as well as performing plastic surgery, right. So if an Indian didn't look right, you know what I'm saying, he could be like, "Yo, got a couple bars of gold, trying to get this Botox nipped and tucked." You know what I'm saying? And that was going on about 3,000 years ago. Okay, so in South and Indians in South America was practicing brain surgery, right? In at least 1,000 BC. Some archaeologists believe that the Olmec culture, who arose in Mesoamerica about 1700 BC, were successfully performing surgery long before that date, right? Estimate that the several rates of the American Indian patients who underwent brain surgery were between 83 to 90% successful. According to anthropologist H.L. Sharprow, in the late 19th century and the early 20th century, only half of brain surgeon patients that was performed by non-Indian doctors survived. So, you know, they only had a half survival rate, and these was non-Indian doctors, and our rates was upwards of 83 to 90%. So if you was taking your bet on getting your fucking brain fixed, would you go with a non-Aboriginal doctor or would you go with one of these Aboriginal doctors? That's your question you gotta ask. I'm not gonna read too much because that sums it up pretty much about surgery. We're gonna skip over that. It got a lot of sources. I will read off a few of these sources. I got a whole page full of sources. Williams R. Adams, Aboriginal American Medicine. That's a book y'all should go check out. We got George Banks, uh, in Peru before Pizarro. That's a good book. We got Harold E. Driver, Indians of North America. Shout out to the brothers in North America that's been putting in work. Uh, we got Omar Ferdinand, right? Pre-Columbian surgery, right? They go check it out. And that's just a few sources to read off for you guys. So we're gonna move on to the next one. What we got coming up right here. So I'm just gonna read off a couple of them because it goes along with surgery. Plastic surgery, surgical drainage, surgical scalping, suspension bridging, sweat lodges, and then we on the sweet potatoes. Anybody want to take on sweet potatoes?
I touched on the sweet potatoes. I just want to say too, man. They was saying that the Aztec was doing amputations and making prosthetic limbs on that surgery part too. Throw that in the mix. Uh, I can do sweet potatoes though. Uh, that's
Yeah,
at 2400 BC. So we talking 4400 years ago. You know what I'm saying? South American Andean and tropical forests, Circum-Caribbean, Mesoamerican cultures. Sweet potatoes are tropical tuberous plants not found growing wild. Okay, a thickening in the plant's roots forms the potato where nutrients are stored. Sweet potatoes were first cultivated in the Andean regions of South America. Archaeologists have found the fossilized remains of sweet potatoes that were dated from 6,000 to 8,000 BC. So that's 10,000 years ago. They saying that potatoes, sweet potatoes, was around. Okay, and these don't grow wild. So somebody was growing these 10,000 years ago. Somebody taught them how to grow sweet potatoes 10,000 years ago. I'm just saying, let's really think about this. Leading them to believe that the plants were probably developed and cultivated even earlier than that. Indigenous farmers of South America developed many varieties. The Inca, who's established an empire in the Andean region of what is now Peru in 1000 AD, called the sweet potato batata, and quechua or quechua, their native language, the word became potato in English. Okay, All right. It says, let me scroll down correctly. Uh, Hold on, I went down too far. Man, my bad.
Yeah, make sure y'all bang that like button, y'all, man. It's a heavyweight jam. We just getting started. Hey, we about to be working on. We about to be moving right out these S's and moving the T's. So I'm hoping y'all taking notes and writing down everything. Let's get it.
Word. All right. It says two varieties of sweet potatoes are grown today. One is moist and has reddish orange flesh. That's the one we used to see. It said the other is drier and has yellow flesh. Although the darker sweet potatoes are often referred to as yams, in North America, the sweet potato, which belongs to the same botanical family as the morning glory, is not related to the yam, which belongs to the lily family. Okay, man, that's interesting. It says neither are sweet potatoes related to regular potatoes. They do not have eyes as regular potatoes do. It says, and they are grown either from seed or cuttings. The wild potato vine that grows in the upper Midwest of the United States is sometimes called wild sweet potato. It produces a large fleshy root that North American Indians use as a food. It says botanists do not classify it as a true sweet potato. I wonder why. It says an excellent food source. Sweet potatoes produce more pounds of food per acre than any other cultivated plant. Now that's major. It says because they contain more sugar and fats than regular potatoes do, they are more nourishing. Sweet potatoes gain their coloring from beta carotene or vitamin A, a substance considered by. Hey man, I keep doing it. Hold on, my
You
bad.
can keep it moving, though. You heard me. You can keep it moving on the it's
Oh,
kind of we got a few. We got a lot of
You about to run into a whole bunch of other foods, tamales, uh,
yeah.
quite a bit of other foods when you get up here. Tabasco sauce, shit like that.
you got syringe right here. And just got the syringe.
Your syringe is
Yeah,
next.
cheese. I mean, and it's like it's a bunch of stuff on
Contact.
TV.
Yeah.
Um, what
Yeah,
you may want to touch on that? I mean, if not, I'll touch on it.
yeah, we'll touch on syringes real quick. Let's go and touch on syringes. Syringes, free contact. Hope y'all got your pens and your paper out once again. Syringes, pre-contact, Mesoamerica, North American cultures is where this syringes culture was found. Syringes are a medical instrument used to either inject fluids into the body or remove fluids from it. This device is responsible for saving numerous lives throughout the world. It keeps many dependent diabetics alive and functioning, and is used to indicate immunization for people and animals against crippling potential fatal diseases. Scotsman Alexander Woods is credited by many medical historians with having invented the syringes in 1853, which we know that's a lie. However, many years before European colonization, American Indians used syringes to inject medicines into their wounds and clean or irrigate them, right? They are also they also use syringes to clean ears, vaginal vulgale, and an expert on American Indian medicine writes about South American Indians used a rubber syringe in pre-Columbian times. Gilmore claims that the animal bladders and bone syringes was used by Indians of the United States prior to contact with Europeans. Anthropologists credited Mesoamerican cultures in inventing the first rubber bulb syringe. And you can see that when we get to latex. And so I'm gonna read this next paragraph. We're gonna move on. North American Indians use small animal bladders and thin, hollow bird bones to make bulb bed syringes. The sharpened and beveled one end of the bone sharpened into the object, similar to modern uh, hopper. hoppermint needles, right? They needed attachments unsharpened in the end of the bone to the small animal bladder, which held the medicine from injecting or irrigating wounds. American Indians and Mesoamerican and South America used the bird bones for the needle, but they used rubber bowls for the medication instead of the animal bladder, right? So indigenous healers also uses large syringes for administrating anismas. Other American Indians inventions, Mesoamerican devices use rubber hoses that was used for the enema as well as the bulb itself. So yeah, man, they're just going in on syringes. We pretty much summed it up with syringes. Right up under there, got some sources from I.A. Howell. You can check it out. The bowl enema syringe in North America. We got Frank G. Speck and the Catawba medicine or corroborative practices. And we got Virgil Vogel, American Indian medicine, and y'all can go check that out. We got syrup right up under that. Let's see what else we got. We gonna work on the tea. Anybody gonna touch on Tabasco sauce? Ain't really
I
too
mean,
much
you
to touch. We know what Tabasco
it's
sauce is.
self-explanatory, like as far as stuff.
Explanatory.
Hold, hold on
Tamales,
for 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Hey, quick. Hold on.
tamales. That's self-explanatory.
On the other side, wait, AP. Here,
Yeah, we got brain tanning right here. Brain tanning is definitely
uh,
a unique process.
hold up, AP. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. On the other side, slow down. So,
Yeah, they got
other
brain
side,
tanning.
you had tactical military. You passed it.
Oh, I didn't even see that tactical military. Oh, okay. Well, yeah, it's a tactical military and talk therapy. Right up under Tabasco. So I think you would have to go to military to see that.
No. I just wanted to just mention that it's something that is in the encyclopedia. I ain't trying to. I don't need a lot of the elaborate on. It's just just that it's in the
Military tech
encyclopedia. Like
fact.
a lot of the stuff, people they can check for just more the more advanced things that what I'm saying that's important that people look for that keep people surviving and keep the quality of your health and everything intact. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
that's what I'm just saying. We keep on like we just mentioned the other ones and just the ones that's significant. We could really elaborate on. So, I don't, what, if you go down, how far you gonna go down? 'Cause the next is I see tartar removal, um, tapioca, botanics,
Brain brain tanning
brain
is pretty good. Yeah, brain
tanning.
tanning is something my great granddaddy used to do, which is taking animal hide and stretching it and making clothes and moccasins out of. So it's a tale around that for people in the South that deals with the brain tanning. That each animal got enough brain to tan the body. So that's it's also better known as Indian tanning. We can get into that. That's pre-contact North America, Northeast. Great Plains, Arctic, and Southeast Mesoamerica, South American cultures. Tanning is a method of tanning hides in order to turn them into leather. Ancient cultures throughout the world developed. Okay, so that pretty much sums it up. Turn it into leather. I'm just gonna read this description right up under the picture, and we're gonna keep it moving. It's a picture of some fella right here uh, in the process of brain tanning. After American Indians tan their hides, they smoke and resulting leather so it will remain soft and plush after it dries. This photo is of a Iroquois man smoking a hide was taken in the Grand River, Quebec in 1914. The American Indian tradition of brain tanning hides continues today. And this picture is actually in the National Archives. You can actually put in the actual identification number to find the photo. We're gonna move on. You got tapioca. You can touch on that, big bro. A1.
Nah, I ain't everything. I ain't touching on. Hey, let's keep it moving on that. Tapioca is people know what tapioca is a breakfast. You can use it
Taught
for breakfast or
taught
you can use
pollen.
it. Huh?
tarpaulins, the waterproof fabric. If you want to touch on that,
Let me see.
Yeah, the tarpaulins, waterproof fabric. Yeah, that's tight.
Well, you want to get on that? And that's how they make tents and everything out of it. Well, you can make a tent out of that. Hold on,
Yeah,
let me see. Matter of fact, you know what? Hell, I got it. I got it. I'm trying to. I ain't sharing my screen, and you sharing your screen, so I don't want to read. All right, so tarpaulins. So this is 1700 BC to 400 BC, North America, Northwest Coast, Mesoamerican culture. Tarpaulins is waterproof fabrics, generally made of flax, cotton, or hemp, that is used for cells or tents as covering as coverings. The Olmecs, who culture arose about 1700 BC in the Yucatan Peninsula of what is now Mexico, was first to develop material waterproof. So niggas had hoodies, niggas had motherfucking North Faces, right? So look, it's saying with rubber, see latex. Culture groups that followed the Olmecs included the Mayans, whose culture arose in what is now Mexico in about 1500 BC, also used the rubberized technique. So the tribes of North America used asphalt for the waterproof. Asphalt is like what they call is Gore-Tex, right? It's like a form of Gore-Tex that they use too, right? So it said for waterproofing, Napoleon's said the Olmec invented a vulcanization and produced many types of rubber products. It said in addition to tarpaulin, agave is what they make. That comes from the that comes from what's the name? What's the shit they call it? Does it the tequila plant? Right? That's what agave is. But they extract that also from cactus. It's saying cotton was used to make the cloth that was coated with the rubber. Said to make the tarpaulin. The Mayans also learned to use latex, said to make other rubber or waterproof material. In her book, The Mayan World, Elizabeth P. Benson writes that rubber trees provided the Mayans with rubbers for their balls. It said rainproofing and capes. It said and niggas had capes. Niggas running. It said material to be traded with non-rubber and produce highlight. All right, so shit. I mean, pretty much. That's it. Look, that's heavyweight right there.
yeah, that's heavyweight.
Because in certain places in Central and South America, it rains like shit. You know what I'm saying? Um, I remember when I used to watch Man vs. Wild, the motherfucker Bear Grylls. I think he was in the Patagonia. I think the Pentagon. I mean Patagonia. I think that's the name of it. That's in South America. It was raining like shit in that episode or whatever. So these brothers have rubber hoodies, like them jackets, them like parkers. Like when we read, he said parkers. People
right?
parkers in here.
Patagonian jackets and
Come
shit.
on, man. That's what I'm saying. Like that's a parker. A parker is a North Face. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's double insulated, so that means that bitch reversible too.
That's right. So these brothers have parkers on. You niggas talking about teepees and leather hides and shit. Like you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like that's what I'm saying. That's the importance of understanding the history. Like you know what I'm saying? You don't get this nowhere else. And nobody else talking about things. And I'm not saying talking like you don't when you study history. See, and let me just put this out there, right? Everything ain't for everybody. You got certain people talking about more shit. You got certain people talking about advancement for the so-called, people who classify as colored or black Indians. And you got some people who just put history out there. You know what I'm saying? From time to time, she touched on all of it. but the history is something that you should know as well. So if you got time out of your busy schedule and you want to hear something additional, you can go back and check the other American Indian Encyclopedia bills that we did. And also you got the book. So, it's definitely something, it's a lot of stuff in here that you don't hear nowhere else in the world. And, if you're Amaru or a Marquis or indigenous to this landmass, and these inventions and these technologies is already there. You should be patting yourself on the back, you know what I'm saying, for being part of that. Just like you was when you was in Africa. You know what I'm saying? All the way on the other side of the fucking continent, people built pyramids. I'm telling you, this is what whole African culture up. Like when you hear people really talk about history, they always reference Egypt. They always talk about fucking Egypt. You just don't. And like I said, I know people. Like, look, you got people who do genealogy, and that's it. Like that's wonderful. But okay, you once you meet your family, you know your family, you got your genealogy, then that's it. Then you could turn love and hip hop back on. Then I guess. Or you could tell you what listen to this to continue your growth and your education or trying to learn some of this information. You see what I'm saying? You do your geology or your Indian feather running around, boom, boom. Then what? Sitting around, love and hip hop comes back on. Nah, you could just check the American Indian Encyclopedia bill. And it's like a lot of other bills that's on the deck, that's on deck or whatever. But this is just, just some of them. So look, I'm gonna touch on you got tartar removal, right, real quick. So look, check this out. Cause this what they always showed the fucking the what's the name toothpaste commercial, right? And things to keep your teeth, your shiny whites and shit glowing, right? That's what they always show, right? So tartar removal, Mesoamerican culture. Tartar is a hard yellowish deposit on the teeth composed of food particles. So you motherfuckers know I be saying that shit. I be seeing people talking that be having tartar and shit on their teeth. Like you hit them up this morning, man. First thing, jump up, hit them up, hit them up, right? Food particles, right? That's also why people breath be stinking. Um, you know this shit, y'all. So look, it said a secretion that deposits salt and calcium carbonate. The Aztecs and Mesoamerica, who established an empire around 1100 AD, were removing tartar. It said from the teeth of pre-Columbian times, hundreds of years ago, ancient Aztec dentistry. So we already talked on the dentistry, right? It said remove tartar from their client's teeth with metal instruments, the same shit that they using today, right? Now, I ain't gonna go no further, but some of the sources you got Harold, Indians of North America, Chicago University. That's a heavy source right there. Then you got Dear Ortiz, Aztec Medicine. It said Health and Nutrition. That's from Rutgers University. If you know Rutgers University got a dentistry school, so these is real sources. All right, so somebody want to touch on the tax system?
Word, I touch on it. Alright. It's a tax systems. Let's call it META or META. Calculated 2000 BC, that'll be 4,000 years ago. South American, Andean, Mesoamerican cultures. Taxes are fees or duties that are levied on people in order to support the government under which they live. Rulers have exacted taxes in the form of tribute in many parts of the world, including the Americas. In some instances, American Indian taxation took a slightly different form from the practice in other parts of the world. Okay, say in general, North American Indians made voluntary contributions to the well being of the community. Compulsory taxation developed in South America and in Mesoamerica, along with bureaucracies to administer these systems. All right. It says the oldest tax system developed in the Americas began in about 2000 BC in the Andean Mountains of South America. It says the first form of taxation, referred to as the corvée labor system, required people to perform work as form of tribute. For example, the pre-Peruvian people were required to help build pyramids. Said the workers were divided into many different teams for the project. Those who made adobe
Hold on,
brick.
hold on. I'm sorry. Hold up. Are they saying that men built pyramids or giants?
It says men. I says for example, the pre-Peruvian people were required to help build pyramids.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Now I'm just making sure because certain people think giants built pyramids and aliens. And here you go. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, they talk about P Peruvian. They talk about the probably Super Peru, which them people wasn't even Peruvians. They already said that they were Sumerian or they had the same culture, the Phoenicians or the Sumerians. You know what I'm
That's right.
saying? Real talk. And this is the stuff that they hide from. They don't let you know this. And remember, Peru is the oldest. It's the oldest town or the oldest civilization in the Americas. Why is that? Why is the oldest civilization on the Pacific side of the Americas? Why is it over there? The oldest, which is called Kuga Key. Kuga Key. That's what that area would be related to Titicaca or whatever over there in Peru. So you do the science too. You go back and look. The Toltec, most people who research this shit, not me, say that the Toltecs were the Sumerians. And why the fuck is the Sumerians going all the way over there? But then the Sumerians, if you go back further enough, you find out that they are the Phoenicians. But remember, Sumer is the oldest, right? They tell you Sumer was before Egypt, right?
Yeah.
Ain't that what they tell you? They tell you sumo for, but that's what I'm trying to say. If you don't know about this type of shit, stay before you stay out your lane. I mean, stay in your lane. You know what I'm saying? Because this shit is a lot. Like you got a lot of stuff going on in the Americas that people don't touch on. So, boy, I'm sorry. I just want to just clarify that because just certain people need to be listening to that. They take sound bites anyway, so that's a good sound bite.
Yeah, I mean, I never really heard um this book mention uh anything about aliens or giants. Now, like I said, there is some documents or some books out there that's on that, but that's a whole nother ball game. Right now, we're dealing with substantiated facts. You know what I'm saying? And this is under the title tax system. So we talking about people being paid, or being contributed something in for their work. You know what I mean? So um, let's get it. The workers were divided into many different teams for the project. Okay, said those who made adobe brick signed them. Said more than 100 different signatures or symbols have been found on adobe blocks. Okay, so that's what let you know there. You see a symbol or something on the block, they let you know that was signed by somebody. Says the corvée labor system was the precursor for the mita or the tax system that the Inca developed many years later. The Inca established an empire in what is now Peru, which is 1000 AD. Says the mita or the mi'a system required common people to perform government service. It was their labor that enabled the Inca to expand what started as a small Andean state to a vast empire that stretched the length of Western South America. Said this form of taxation enabled the Inca to construct huge stone structures and enormous road systems within about 200 years from the time they began this expansion. The people who lived near suspension bridges paid their taxes by building and repairing the bridges. People who lived near the vast and long Inca road system paid their taxes by maintaining a section of the road. Makes sense. Let me go up a little bit. It ain't that long, but I probably gotta read all of it. It says, let me scroll to the right a little bit. Certain people were responsible for building way stations along the road system. Others were responsible for keeping the way station stocked with food, supplies, and water. In addition to allowing in addition to allowing the creation of an extensive structure of public works, the Incas' tax system also provided for a social welfare system. Hmm, interesting. It says, see also disability rights. It says, no one, even those who could not work, was allowed to go hungry. When the required work was difficult, those who performed it were protected by labor laws, as was the case with minors. Okay. It says pre-contact Mesoamerican cultures also had tax systems that required both work and tribute. The Maya, whose culture arose in what is now Mexico, 1500 BC, began imposing formal tributes in about AD or 250 AD. City governments run by aristocratic families exacted tributes in the form of work to build religious and government buildings. Okay? Says city governments run by aristocratic families exacted tributes in the form of work to build religious and government buildings. In the Aztec Empire, which was established in what is now Mexico in about AD 1100, tribute became more important and organized. This tribute came from individuals, but it was also exacted on trade, manufacturing, and agriculture. Dang, I just lost my spot again. My bad, y'all, but that's major right there, man. Uh, Let me get back to it. My bad for the eye shakes. Uh, I keep clicking on the wrong button and it keep taking me back where we
No,
started.
you good. You good. You good. You good. You good. And
Like button,
that's
man. We got like 70 people in here. Got 48 likes. Let's get them likes up in the building, y'all. Thumb up the
that's
video.
again right. These dates, we know they're
Right.
not right and exact. We know these dates is something that they came up with, whatever measuring instrument that they did it to exact what time it is or their
But like I
particular
said,
dates.
like it said, bro, the oldest tax was about 2000 BC. So that's about 4,000
Right.
years ago that they had a system in place that sustained the operating people and the people that was ruling it. So everybody was working in common. You feel me? To upkeep the buildings, to upkeep the roads, to upkeep the lights. You know, all these things was relevant during those time frames. It was no different than what you see today, except for the
Right.
democracy not taken away from the people. Is what I see.
Look, hold up. You should go down. You should read the rest of it.
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
That's why I highlighted that thing, man. That's major. Says services that people might be required to perform under the tax system, including farming, running, metallurgy, mining, civil engineering, sanitation work, public health, hydraulic engineering. Says also irrigation and plumbing, collecting firewood, hide tanning, jewelry making, feather working, animal herding, armor making, sewing and tailoring, weaving, charcoal making, farming, and acting as servants for the aristocracy. Okay, all that was taxable. Um, some of the common tributes required under this system included all forms of gold. Says he also metals, precious, uh, feathers, uniforms, sandals, cottons, mantles, tree gums, which is resins. You know, you can burn them like instant. Jade, silver, food, cocoa beans, weapons, flint, copper, honey. It says see also beekeeping, spices, and jewelry. All right. It says archaeologists believe that a similar tax system existed in North America among the mound building culture that developed in what is now Alabama. These people built the site that is now called Moundville between AD 1200 and 1400. The mound builders who developed the system independently of those in South America and Mesoamerica made the paying of taxes voluntary.
Hey, hold up. So they telling you that the mounds that's and they try to move the data. See,
Yeah,
all this stuff was consistent. They can't tell you that what's that Cahokia, that culture go back way before some fucking that's 600 years ago right there, 12 and
right.
800 years ago. AD. That's our time. You know what I'm saying? That's we're in 2000. We're only in 2020, so that's fucking 620 years ago, and that's bullshit. You see what I'm saying? They try to move it up. If they was doing it in one side, which is right there, then you wouldn't have the Mississippi, and the Mississippi culture is way older
Way
than
older.
what
That's
they
right.
telling us. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So just to touch on that though, but um, I mean, if you want to continue or not, you probably move on or whatever. But that's shit. That's something real heavyweight. You ain't think people had the, you know what I'm saying? You didn't think they had the civilization on the mind to
Right.
do this type of stuff. And you think they didn't have no colleges that they went to school with the white man. The white man took all your inventions and made institutions to teach other people around the world this shit. Therefore, you know what I'm saying? That's how they got all these colleges. Why you think all the colleges in the South with agriculture and machinery or agriculture and technology? The technology is the technical vastness we read in this goddamn dictionary right here.
That's right.
But motherfuckers don't, you don't get it. Like, you just don't get it. Motherfuckers be making jokes and acting like goddamn idiots that don't got nothing to really offer, nothing tangible or whatever. Dude said that this was Cornell info. I ain't never heard Cornell read this, but I heard him put this book in the chat room after we did damn near fucking 15 fucking videos on this shit. And that ain't no slack to him, but this is, I mean, we've been doing this shit for almost 2 years, so I mean, it is what it is. Put massive time into just reading this stuff or whatever, just to break it down, because this is very important. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is important too. It's history. So, what we gonna do? If you want to continue reading, then go ahead.
Oh no, we can keep going, man. It's whatever y'all want to touch on next, man. Uh, they got the
You
uh,
got
uh
therapeutic touches, aka massages.
yeah,
You uh thyroid race
Thor
synthesis,
Thoracentesis,
thorough
Thor the
synthesis,
Thoracentesis. I mean, how do you say it? Thoracentesis, yeah, or
Hold
I
up. I got Thanksgiving, and let me touch on Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Okay,
I mean, all right. So hold up. Before you go to Thanksgiving, you got tea, you got herbal, pharmaceutical, I mean, farmers, whatever. You got farming, then you got textile, weaving techniques, then you got Thanksgiving. Now, I'm just saying, I just want to just touch on it just to give you some of the underlying cultures that they had within this so-called holiday that we think it was the European doing what they did. Right? So Thanksgiving is a holiday celebrated in the United States on the fourth Thursday of November and in Canada on the second Monday in October. In the United States, the holiday commencement of a feast celebrated by pilgrims at Plymouth Colony in 1621. memory of the Algonquin, Wampanoag, and now Massachusetts were the instrument of the feast. Without them, there would have been no dinner. However, the Plymouth colony Thanksgiving was not the first and only North American continent. I want to touch on this right here. I said in 1610, Jamestown colony settlers in Virginia held a service of thanks after the English ship arrived with food and supplies after a winter during which they had nearly starved. Now this right here is like I'm not agreeing with that because they knew how to survive in of the Virginia area. I mean, so-called Aborigines did not need the Europeans to bring them shit. Um, but you go right here, like some of the corn festivals or something that is, the Wapanaki had set aside time for for giving thanks long before the Europeans set foot on the continent. So just keep that in mind, right? So the Wapanaki been practicing that culture, right? Long before the Europeans set foot on the continent. It said they had traditionally had 6 Thanksgiving festivals during the year, included the Maple Dance, all right? So this is some of the cultures they got. The Maple Dance, the Plantain Fest, the Strawberry Festival, the Green Corn Celebration, a Harvest Festival in midwinter ceremony. They called the time to give thanks for the harvest of green corn celebration and ceremonies. And in Massachusetts gathering in 1621, however, one credited for inspiring a holiday that the U.S. citizens celebrate each year. So I just wanted to just touch on that just to let you know that that's something that's been going. A lot of people know that already,
Yeah,
but you
that,
know,
that that's still deep though, because I didn't know they said it 6 times. I ain't never heard about it being celebrated 6 times.
they got that now. Like they always up there. Them Europeans be celebrating these holidays, man. You don't
Yeah,
know nothing about them. You think there's some I'm saying, some European stuff or whatever. But this is just real cultural stuff. It ain't like that, and it ain't like they showing you a bunch of Indians running around in a circle dancing to some damn drum or some shit like that, man. That shit might have been a cookout. You know what I'm saying? Like a real
right.
the maple dance. You don't know what kind of music they was playing at the maple dance.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Niggas really probably was really doing their thing. You never know. Nigga probably doing a slide and everything, man. You know what I'm saying? Plantain Fest, Strawberry Festival, the Green Corn Celebration, the Harvest Festival, and the Winter Ceremony. All right. So what else we got going on here?
The therapeutic touch next, which is the massage.
You want to touch a little bit on that?
Yeah, I can read a little bit of that.
All right.
Uh,
Good thing.
they calculated at 1000 AD, so they basically saying what year 1000 or whatever they want to call it. North American, South American, Mesoamerican cultures. Therapeutic form of massage that is used for health rather than mere relaxation. This type of treatment was used both as a preventative measure to maintain health and as an adjunct to medical treatment. It began with alternative health practitioners in the 1960s, but it is becoming more widely accepted today. The practice of healing massages go back hundreds of years in the pre-contact Americas. Okay, so I don't know why they didn't say that if they know. All right, but it says both the Inca, who established an empire in what is now Peru in about 1000 AD, and the Aztec, who established an empire in what is now Mexico in about 1100 AD, used the practice. It says the Inca used therapeutic touch to treat rheumatism and lumbago and employed it before they prescribed any invasive procedure. Since see also surgery or medication. which says see also more pharmacology. They developed a special tool to enhance the massage. It resembled a small baseball bat, but was about 10 inches long. They used this with a netting or kneading or rolling action or both superficial and deep massage, depending on the part of the body that they were treating. The Inca also developed special balms and oils for massages. The most common ingredient they used were blue-green algae and American valerian, which has antiseptic and astringent properties. That's major right there. Um, I'll read a little bit more. It said the Aztec used therapeutic touch massage in conjunction with the steam bath. Say see also steam rooms. All right, say Fray Bernardino de Sahagún, who described Aztec life shortly after the arrival of Hernan Cortez, wrote of Aztec physicians treating a patient that they manipulate him, they massage him. It says Aztec mothers were taken into the steam bath for a massage immediately after giving birth. See also obstetrics. I mean, um, let me go back down. Hold on, my bad. It says therapeutic massage is believed to have been a universal treatment among Indians of pre-contact North America. The Maricopa and Akimal O'Adham Pima, who lived in what is now Arizona, used it extensively for alleviating localized pain. Cherokee healers of the southeast warmed their hands over hot coals before massaging their patients. I've seen that before. Said they use massage to treat sprains, localized pain, and menstrual cramps. The Pawnee of the Great Plains crushed the black rattlepod plant and mixed it with buffalo fat to produce a balm that they rubbed into the painful area. Now that's a nice formula there. Another form of massage that the American Indians invented is widely accepted medical practice today. This is let me scroll up. Uh, this is the Cree method of manipulation. Slide it over. Of manipulation, a postpartum massage of the abdomen that helps women who have given birth to expel the placenta. It's deep. It also serves to aid the uterus to begin to contract. All right. See also medicine. So that's nice there, man. That was nice. Especially how they describe the different bombs. Uh, some of the sources there. And I know we got that next form of surgery next, man. That the thoracentesis, or however you say it. Anybody want to touch on that? If y'all want me to go ahead and hit a little bit, it don't matter, man. Uh, I can keep it rolling.
Yeah, keep it going. You on the road.
All right. All right, so I know I'm butchering it, but it's thoracentesis, or however you say it. I think I said it right. I don't know. Excuse me if I didn't. So thoracentesis is a surgical procedure that involves puncturing the chest in order to allow accumulated fluid to drain. It is used to treat em- empyema, an infection of the pleural cavity, the area between the lungs and tissue that surrounds them. The, the pneumococcus bacteria causes, that seems like pneumonia, but it says the pneumococcus Bacteria causes the condition that can cause up to a pint of pus to accumulate in the pleural cavity. Said this extra fluid causes fatigue, chest pain, dry cough, excessive sweating, weight loss, and fever. All right. Says American Indians of the Great Lakes area successfully treated empyema with Thoracentesis before the arrival of Europeans. These included the Sac and Fox Muskogee tribe, located in what is now Illinois. Sac and Fox healers punctured the pleural cavity, taking care not to puncture the lungs, which means you had to be real sharp at what you was doing right there. So this allowed the fluid to drain from the cavity and is the same technique used by modern physicians to treat empyema today. Virgil Vogel, an expert on American Indian medicine, writes, even as compared with their contemporary whites, they were not to be scorned. Their treatment of wounds, fractures, and empyema was equal to or better than of the white physicians of the 18th century. So there you have it with that, man. So that's basically like the how they treated, but I guess pneumonia and any infection of the lungs or whatever, man. That's deep. I don't even know how to really. I don't even know if I'm saying it right because you don't even really hear. I don't even hear about that too much. You know, um, that was some of the sources of that. We got tie dye in
Yeah,
that.
that's heavy. That's heavy. And mic check, mic check, mic check. Can you guys hear me in the chat? Because I hear a lot of people saying they couldn't hear me. If you can't hear me, if you can hear me, press one.
Mic,
If
your
not,
mic just sound real staticky and muffled.
okay, all right. You gotta let me. You guys gotta let me know that, man. I don't know what's up. I can't hear.
It's been like that since before we even started, I think.
Yeah,
But
it's
I
been
think
like in
it's
and out.
stream yard.
All right. Give me a second. I'm gonna take it back. I'm gonna take it out. Hold on. All right. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, it's a little
Yep.
better.
You hear me better now, right?
Still about the same, but it's good. I think it's just the stream yard.
Hold up. Nah, let's get this right. Hold up.
I see a lot of ones in the chat, so everybody can hear you loud and clear in the chat, so that's good.
All right, man. Make sure y'all hit that like and share, man. You know, go back and try to share all of them, man. We're gonna really
Yeah,
try to.
I just changed it up.
yeah, y'all wanted a
You
scholar.
guys can hear me now?
Yeah,
Yeah, I hear you.
All right, so let's keep it moving.
all right, man. Yeah,
Oh,
that was
nah,
that.
but the tease is real long, fellas. So let's just try to just like, just like on this tie dye thing. You guys pretty much know what tie dye is, but not just check on it, but it's just a form of tie dyeing, the process of tying all fabric and hank of yarn, just by dipping them into a vat of dye. Like basically, they was dyeing, they was making different colors of I guess yarning. That's how they get the different colors when they make a yarn or like make a quilt. Cause a lot of quilts back then was made of yarn. But you guys can check that out though. But we just want to try to just, like I said, talk on the most, you know, the stuff that basically is popular now. So they go TP. So if somebody want to touch on TPs,
I'll let you handle that one, bit, bro.
all right, fuck it, let's do it. So TPs, North American Green Plain Culture. Now it's telling you Ain't saying nowhere, ain't saying northeast or southeast culture or California or Central America. It's saying North America, Great Plains culture. Okay, Great Plains. Teepees are dwellings that consist of hive and carb and canvas covering lands and chronicle frames of pole. Teepees in the Nakota word for home, and has a broader meaning for these Indians than the structure it is used to identify. In the English language today, many scholars believe that the cone-shaped teepees of the plains evolved into subterranean tents that exist at least 5,000 years or shorter. They're saying tents made by woodland. We go up. All right. So
Yes, yes, subarctic.
told you, my dude, everybody want to live in no goddamn teepees. I said Indians, most of the tribes use the teepees are known to have migrated from the eastern woodland to the plains and prairies in historic times. The original plain teepees covering was made from bison hide. Several distinguishing features differing from the simple chronicle structure from a teepee. The floor plans of the true teepees as developed by the Indians of the northern plains is not circular but oval. It's saying in shape. It's saying the structure is tinted. It's saying with the rear side steeper than the front. It's saying where the door is located. So I had a fucking door on it, right? So it's saying rather than being symmetrical as a cone. All right, so it's telling you the difference. One of them is not a cone. One of them is shaped like a hill, or like it's more rounded, if you will. It's saying different tribes,
Yeah,
various styles of teepees, depending on the arrangements of the poles. Saying tribes that use three poles for the foundation, poles and poles, which the others are laid, included the the Nakota, the Cheyenne, the Arapaha, the Abyssinian, I guess that's how you pronounce the Kiowa, Astheni, is saying the Plain Creek, the Mandan, the Pawnee, the Omaha, and the Arakara. That's what it sounds like it says. Right? So them are some of the tribes that use the TP. So they ain't saying nothing about none of the tribes that's in the Great Lord Peace. As I've been saying the whole time, though, but to each his own. We can keep it moving on that. It's self-explanatory. You guys know what a TP is. We just got finished talking about buildings. And here go your TPs right here. Look. Look. We just read about motherfuckers with dentistry and plumbing and all this other stuff. And here you go right here. You see that right there, yo? You guys? Oh, then again, you know what? I ain't even sharing my goddamn screen. Show the picture for me, Jack. I'm sorry.
yeah, I
Nah,
still got.
Jag showing it.
I
Jag
still
showing
got.
it. Everybody can see it.
This is how you niggas is living right here, huh?
I mean, like you say. I mean, there was people. I guess it was more so for the people who just really wanted to move around, keep moving, man. Um,
It was for the plain Indians, the
yeah,
Hopians, motherfuckers like
It just said what Indians it was. It ain't now. If everybody know the culture they from, let me go back up real quick. It said what get. It says TPs, North American Great Plain culture. Can you guys hear me? Press
it's at Great Plains, man.
one. Let me say one more time. So for you guys that think you live in TPs, because I swear, man, I swear, man. But
Yeah,
a
it's
lot
at
of
Great
people I
Plains, so
know,
that's like Idaho, South Dakota,
bro. Look, hey Jack, when you talk to most people about this history, they think Indians lived in teepees, my dude. Do you not understand how, like, you know what I'm saying? Do you not understand, like, when you talking to anybody about this history, and you're just having a plain conversation, they don't know a lot of this shit that we just went over. And I'm telling you for real, for real. I'm talking about professors and scholars, man, or people who deem to be scholars. They don't know nothing about this.
Yeah, right.
They don't know nothing about it. So it's not like somebody making it a bigger deal than what it really is, but it is a bigger deal than what it really is because a lot of us don't know it. You ask a lot of black people or a lot of people in this so-called whatever community, well, how was the Indians living there? Okay, we mentioned pyramids, right? But we also mentioned apartment buildings and other structures that we had, man. You know what I'm saying? We don't just mention we had cities and towns, forts, all types of structures. You understand?
Right.
Nobody's just meant, but you ask, just think about it. If you ask the average so-called person who rock in this community about this history, and you ask them, well, what was the Indians living in? How was they living? They was living in how was they living? They gonna give you some crazy. It's gonna be something similar to a teepee. Like you know what I'm saying? Or most of them don't know. They don't fucking know most of them. I ain't trying to be funny. I'm just it is what it is. That's why we put this information out there. I don't care who come in the link and drop the book off. We reading the fucking page. We reading the book. We've been reading the book and we've been putting the link out there. I put the link in the description most of the time. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, though, we keep it moving though. But say Great Plain Indians, all right? You know, saying about southeast, northeast, nowhere else. Great Plains. Now, as popular as the goddamn teepee is, you think they got that wrong? You know, you think he made a mistake by saying just the Great Plains?
Nah, I don't think so. That's the first time I ever just really seen just the Great Plains, to be honest with you, in this book titled like that. I ain't never really seen just the Great Plains, North America. I ain't never seen that.
Well, man, listen, man. I'm telling you, man. I'm just telling you. I've been saying it all along. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the reason why I be saying TP, but people be like, man, you trying to take a hit on. Okay, if you from the Great Plains, then yeah, okay.
Right.
I ain't talking about you then. You know what I'm saying? Just if you don't know, like if it does bother you that much and you're from the Great Plains, then yeah, I'm talking about you. But don't say that because that's the template for Indian. That's what I'm trying to tell you. The sister said we built palaces. That's correct. That is a fucking fact. I got a whole book right here, right? Just to stop for a second. I got a whole book right here that basically talks about fucking forts that was all through the Americas. And all these forts sits at the tips of all these different rivers. It's hundreds of them. I got a whole book on them. Like all of the ones that was here pre European contact and everything, and it's a lot of them. But yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. When you really seen some of the information, that's why people talk about you talk about pyramids. Nah, we just do the analysis to the history of the Americas. So if pyramids come up, yeah, we talk about that. If dentistry come up, yeah, we talk about that. If syringes come up, yeah, we talk about that. Talk about stuff that's basically tangible is going to your information. Because like I said, if you just want to stay at the TP level and just we live in TPs and we made fucking jewelry and shit and that was it. And we danced around the fire, we went hunting, that was it. But this book right here has something totally different. So they had theaters and everything. Like people had theaters. Like they had entertainment. You know what I'm saying? So, that's just another thing to go along with the technology advancements that was hit 5,000 years ago that the European put into these universities. And you go back and you learn it from them. And then you come back and try to sell it to your people, but in a way where it really doesn't help nobody. That's why they don't like no holistic practitioners, because they want to use their guidelines. You know what I'm saying? They want you to use their guidelines to help individuals or whatever. They don't want you to use the science of this shit that was here before these people got here. So you can keep it moving though. 'Cause I'm getting a little hoarse. I need to go get some water.
Word, man. Tobacco next, man. We know what it is, but it's 8,000 BC. You know, uh, of course, Mesoamerican, North American, Northeast, Southeast, and Southwest, Circumcaribbean, South American, and then cultures. You know what I'm saying? So, 8,000 years ago, tobacco was official. Tobacco is the name given to the plants of several varieties of the species Nicotana and to dried leaves from these plants. The leaves are smoked either as cigarettes or cigars or in pipes. Powdered tobacco called snuff is inhaled. All right. Tobacco belongs to the same botanical family as nightshade, potatoes, and tomatoes. According to ethnobotanists, the two most prevalent types of tobacco, Nicotana tabacum and N. rustica, were growing in the Americas in as early as 6,000 BC. American Indians are believed to have been cultivating tobacco by about AD 1, although they used it in some social settings. Indigenous people used tobacco primarily in ceremonies and for medicinal purposes such as enemas and wound dressing. Says some American Indians also chewed it as a toothache remedy. All right. So there's a clue there for people, you got that bad tooth in the back or whatever, man. You might have to get some real tobacco though, some real fresh tobacco probably. Say from Montreal and New England to the Amazon rainforest and the Andean regions of what is now Peru. All right. It says, um, yeah, European contact American Indians were growing tobacco. All right. It says methods of smoking tobacco vary from region to region. North American Indians chopped the tobacco finely and put it in bowls, drawing the smoke through a tube. Thus, they were pipe smokers. It says the Maya, whose culture began in the Yucatan, what is now 1500 BC, says, and the Arawak, inhabitants of the Caribbean, rolled tobacco and tobacco leaves to form cigars. All right, why you get your Cubans, known as the special cigar. The Aztec, who's established in 1100 AD, Mexico, says filled reeds with tobacco, creating an ancient version of what is now termed a cigarette. All right, so then it got an extra history on, Christopher Columbus. Say dried tobacco leaves 3 days after he landed in his Hispaniola. Etymologists believe the word tobacco comes from the Arawak word for the pipe or tube in which the tobacco was smoked. Because of the ceremonial ways the Indians presented the gift of tobacco to him, Columbus speculated that the leaves were something of great value. All right. It says they reported to their captain that the native people drank smoke. The crew quickly took up smoking, but their captain did not. That's all right, though. I just want to read that one, man. That's crazy, though. We know what tobacco is, though, man. Whenever y'all get the chance, it's pretty interesting how that all folded out. Um, we got toboggans next, though, man. Um, we know what that is. Well, some people don't, might not. A long, narrow sled without runners. Of course, pre-contact North American Northeast
Hey,
culture.
Jag.
Yep.
Hold up. got something I wanted to show you. I mean, go back to tobacco, right?
All right.
All the way at the top on the right hand side. You ain't gotta read the other part, but just read right there where it says Jamestown Colony.
All right. Say by 1617, the Jamestown colony had tobacco planted alongside the streets and marketplace. After the harvest, they shipped 20,000 pounds of it back to England. Okay. The
I said,
tobacco.
oh, stay right there. Stay right there. Stay right there. Now look. So when you see these pictures right here, can you see the screen? Hey,
Yeah. Yeah.
see the screen?
Yeah.
You see the screen, right? Hold up. Just to clear it up, just so people know. So when you see these pictures right here, these are not Africans. These are Indians
Right.
that's doing business with these people. They doing business with them. That's what what you think all this is advertising. Why do you think they put you on the poster? Same thing right here. These are people who working the 20. It said 20,000. How many pounds? How many pounds is that, Jack?
20,000 pounds, yo, of that good fresh tobacco. I don't know if it was menthol or what. You know what I mean? I don't, I'm just saying it was 20,000 pounds shipped to England, and they said the habit spread so fast. You feel me? Like, come on, man.
Look, this is it right here. These are not Africans right here. These are people. These are the people. What the people look like. Now they will show you these images right here, right? This is a more popular one that they show you. I just want to put you up on game because I seen Yvette Cornell post this picture and I was bugging. I'm like, she don't have no clue. Let me find it real quick. But if you want, you can continue though. I just want to I want to show that one
Oh, no,
picture.
it's good, man. You're right, though, because they were saying that they were Africans. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what the first that's the first instinct that anybody would think, I guess, if they're not actually doing the
Right.
research. You know,
Indoctrination will put you right there at that point,
right,
automatic.
right. You see England, you like, oh, they got to be from Africa.
This one right here, this picture right here. This picture, they motherfuckers think this is an African right here. For real. Y'all can screen, right?
Yeah,
People think that's for African.
yeah, man. It's not an African.
And look,
He holding tobacco leaves, ain't he? Ain't it tobacco leaves?
yeah, yeah. That's what,
And Africans don't smoke anyway. They don't even.
bro.
The ones I know, I'm not saying that none. I'm not gonna just put it like that. But for my knowledge, I've really never seen Africans as like a whole, people or culture just going around smoking.
Look, I'm saying it because the previous pictures that I showed are Indians that was already here, that we already know that's the culture of North America right here. With it. This is not no African. They already tell you this is a fucking Indian.
All right.
So if you got the same get up, and then the other pictures are American Indians, and they all are American Indians. And when people show you that picture right there, they using it, they deceiving people.
Yep.
I've seen, I'm literally, and I'm just saying it just as a how they will show you something on TV and people don't know no better. I've seen that on so-called credible credible radio stations. Like R2, a thing called R2, right? I don't know what it's like, but they be having like Jesse Ventura on there, and they be having certain people talking about history. And knowing there they had that same picture. Oh, the slaves that came in 1619, and they ain't even know, like, these are Indians that was working for the people that came here to buy that tobacco to take back.
That's right.
That was the trade. The people that they show you are people that was working. It wasn't nobody that no peons and nothing like that. They was working. The shit was on the land. They wanted this. So, oh, okay, I could have that 20 pounds of this. Ain't about nothing. We can get that to you in the morning.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? But I digress though. I'm a go ahead, you can continue. I just wanted to just put that out there because that's something that I just seen that, you know what I'm saying, we about to overlook. That's a
Yeah, that's
fact.
why I'm saying. That's why I said I could keep reading it, man, because it get crazy, man. Because I read this one already. It's a little long, but I know we trying to kind of get through it, man. I'm glad we, like you say, we highlighting really just the stuff that we know they definitely don't, talk about, and how, you know, what would really be worth really looking into if you really think about, you know, what we've been told, man. It's like, we doing this for the world, man. Of course, it's just YouTube. Maybe when we finish, we could probably just put it all together, get it on Instagram or get it on pretty much wherever else it need to go, man. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, it's not even, like you said, they didn't even want to put a barcode on this book until, they released this type of information about the Americas, man. Some years ago, about 4-5 years ago, man. So uh, much salute, man. I read a little bit more though. It said after the harvest, they shipped 20,000 pounds of it back to England. The tobacco habit spread so quickly that in the early 1600s, Pope Urban VIII threatened to excommunicate people who smoked or took snuff in holy places. Okay, so that's when you had, I guess, the whole spread of, no smoking on church grounds and all that stuff and this and that. But even though I still see people doing it in our areas, hey, it is what it is. But physicians in England complained to King James first that people were using tobacco without a prescription. Okay. In 1610, Sir Francis Bacon wrote that smoking was a difficult habit to break. The dangers of casual tobacco use were something many American Indians groups seemed to recognize. For example, the Ikmel or Adham or Pima and Tohono or Papago of the North American desert Southwest grew tobacco. Okay, it said in a North American desert Southwest they grew tobacco. Okay, it said, but only old men and old women smoked it because they believed that smoking made young men lethargic, prone to coughing, and unable to stand the cold. Hmm. All right. So as tobacco use increased in Europe, the crop became more profitable than gold for European traders and colonial farmers. Come on now. Let me read that again. As tobacco use increased in Europe, the crop became more profitable than gold for European traders and colonial farmers. Man, I mean, what? That's a mic drop. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be kidding me, man. Like, that mean everybody was goddamn blowing. You know what I'm saying? All right. Is that in some colonies, tobacco was considered so valuable that it was used as money. All right. On occasion, New England clergymen were paid wages in tobacco, An industry sprang up around tobacco growing and curing, especially in the South. By 1776, okay, the crop was serving as collateral on loans obtained from France to fight the Revolutionary War against Britain. What? Man, wait a minute. Man, ain't that the Declaration of Independence, man? What are we talking about? Motherfuckers just wanted to smoke cigarettes? I mean, am I the only ones? Like, is y'all with me on this? Bro.
Right.
Bro, that's around the time. That's the formation of the United States right there, man. Look, you see, it was over that tobacco, right? Over that money. Look, 1776. You see that?
Yo, I didn't miss that by not one heartbeat. You know what I mean? Like
Bro, you see,
that's
we
oh.
yeah, I seen that. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it right there. Look, it said, look, an industry sprung up around tobacco growing and curing. Now, look, remember plantations, man. If you go back to look real quick, stay right there. Let's stay right there real quick. I got that. I was not ready yet. So, all right, so look, let's go right here. Let me see my screen real quick. Just so people get a understanding of the history that they be lying and shit. They had Aborigines working on the fucking farm. There wasn't no goddamn no fucking damn slaves. But the secret is they don't want you to know it was already melanated copper color people here. You see what
Right.
that's
That's their own brand.
that's the motherfucking the fucking April Fool. Excuse me. Hold up. Oh, hold up. Right. Let's see my screen. Hold up. There you go. So look, you see it right here? You see my screen, right?
Yep, I can see it.
So plantation, the act of planting, right? It say and planting. It's saying a noun, action, a past participle stem. It's saying to plant, a historical use for colony settlement in the new land, right? It says 1610, meaning large farms on which tobacco or cotton is grown. It's first recorded in 1706. See? Just to go along with what he reading. So, look, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen and go back. That's showing you right there. Now, look, if you go down, you still got it up there on the screen, Jack, because I stopped sharing my screen.
Yeah, it's up there now.
All right, so let's say by 1776, the crop was serving as collateral. Why the same year the motherfucking the fucking corporation was grown, or the United States, or whatever you want to call it, or whatever, in 1776. Ain't that what they tell you? The Revolutionary War and all that, right?
That's right.
The crop was serving as collateral on loans obtained by the French. Now look, the French was the motherfucker. When you go back and look at the Revolutionary Wars, there's numerous moving parts, but it's mainly surrounded by the people of the land. And it's these other people that's within the inhabitant. But I kind of believe that the French was black people. These are black people. These would be some of the people that's in Haiti today, right? It's saying obtained from the French to fight in the Revolutionary War. Now, the Revolutionary War, when they tell you that could be against the invaders, the French could have been fighting with the Indians and pushing the invaders off. It ain't have to be necessary to the so-called British or whatever, but there's numerous moving parts though. But it's saying the Revolutionary War. Now this 1776, so they saying that this shit is surrounded around the tobacco industry. They formed a corporation, which we just read what plantations is, All right. So it said war against Britain. It said later in Lewis and Clark's, it said carried tobacco to trade with the Indians on their voyage up the Missouri River from 1803 to 1806. They talking about niggas. The same niggas today smoking Black and Miles, the same niggas they traded with them to take up the voyage up the Missouri or Missouri or however people be pronouncing it in this ancient term or whatever though. But that's something heavy right there, right?
Yeah, that's heavy, man.
But look, as a conclusion, just to this, right? It says in modern time, tobacco has gone beyond what the indigenous people who first grew it would ever imagine. Today, world spread recreation smoking became one of the leading medical problems throughout the industrialized world. According to the American Cancer Society, 2.1 million people in industrialized countries die as a result of smoking. In 1995, a major cause of heart disease, tobacco, is responsible for 30% of all cancer deaths. See? So this is the curse right there, right? But we the main one be smoking this shit. All right. So there goes some of the facts right there just to go along with it. I don't know, maybe you guys just want to touch on whatever you want to touch on. Let's try to get a little bit more going, at least to about 2 o'clock on my end.
Word.
I mean, we could touch on like just run like you got tools, a few things. Matter of fact, I'll run through some of these small joints just to summarize on them, and then when we get down to tools, that'll be such. I know you guys. Well, I'm not gonna elaborate on that. I'm just gonna just run through some of these other ones like toboggans, toboggans, or whatever. And these are the narrow sleds without runners. It's made of boards that have been curved upward and form the front of a sled. So these are sled toboggans, what you consider sleds. All right, so you got tomatoes. You know what tomatoes is? Tomatoes actually go back according to him. See, everything is starting when they found it. So don't never think that
Right.
tomatoes might have been here from the time that man was here. You know what I'm saying? So, they only put these dates are not solidified. Like, you know what I'm saying? They're just their explanation, and sometimes they're hiding like whatever they remember. They set the timeline, so the timeline is according to how they want to set it. None of you niggas is out there. You have no measuring devices to where you could come up and see how old these certain structures are or whatever. Or and like my man said, I'm saying theories. All fucking science and all history is fucking theories, man.
Right.
Even the ones that do got experiments, they're still fucking theories because even after they do the experiments, some of the motherfuckers don't truly even understand the experiments, and they just come up with they just like, all right, well, they come up with a few points and then start scratching their head like, all right, man, fuck it, all right, I guess this is what it is. Then everything is a fucking theory as far as history. Everything is a theory. It's a theory that you are so-called aborigine to this land. I'll tell you that much. And if we got that far ahead, at least show you that it was aborigines or melanated people or whatever you consider people that's classified as African American, and these numerous other classifications throughout the Americas or whatever, we're already here. That's a fucking theory. That ain't even a fact. That's a fact on our end. But to somebody who got credibility, they would sit there and play with you all day long on this topic. And you will have no, I'm telling you, I've seen it. I've seen it. Like when it comes down to this topic about the Americas, you have some people who might give you credit on certain things. But look at Skip Gates. Skip Gates know goddamn well it was black people here already. But he's still going with the story. He read the 103 facts about American Indian. No, I'm sorry. He read the 103 Facts about Negro, right? He read that book. Skip Gates. Skip Gates, the Harvard professor that had the TV show where he was testing black people, saying that, oh, no, you ain't got no Indian in them. He read the 103 Facts about the Negro. Um, J.A. Rogers, right? And J.A. Rogers is the one, J.A. Rogers, the one you see with this Carlos Chavez, what's the name character, where he's saying that the Indian America was a Negro continent. This main meme you probably been saying, I've been saying for like the last probably 8-9 years now, or whatever. But some people just probably see it periodically. That source came from came from J.A. Rogers' book, straight from his fucking book and whatever. Like that source that people been using. And you know, like I said, I actually got the source for a while. I just found it to be interesting that this motherfucker got a source in there where he's saying that America was a Negro continent, and then this nigga Skip Gates went back and made a remix single on the motherfucking book around like 10 years ago. And he switched it and put Jackie Robinson face in there, put Martin Luther King face in there. Like, yo, he did a remix single on this so-called book that J.A. Rogers talking about the Moors, talking about the Phoenicians, talking about all these so-called black civilization, and then also talk about the ones that was found in the Americas. And that one particular source dealing with with Charles Cuevas Marquez, where he was saying that the Negro was found in Bolivia. The Negro is saying his presence in the New World outdates the presence of the so-called red man. And then he come to a conclusion that America was a Negro continent. This is what he said in his own fucking book when you translate it, because it's actually in Spanish or whatever though. But nonetheless though, I'm gonna keep it moving though. I'm sorry, where the fuck was we at?
You got potatoes, you got tonic, American Indian influence on tonic water.
All right, so you got tonic water. Um, just touch on, tonic water is a soft drink. You guys know what tonic water nasty as shit, man. No matter what you put in it, right? But I'm saying popular mixer for alcohol beverage. You guys know what tonic water is. So if you guys somebody want to go to tools, let me just make sure I didn't pass nothing just in the process.
Okay.
Make sure I didn't. All right, I was on tomatoes. All right. Yeah. I don't know how I went off on that rant about Skip Gates, man. I don't know how, but that just led me to think that like this nigga is bugging, though. Like, everything that you think ain't real is real. Even you see right now, right? I'm gonna just say this one thing and we can get right back into it, right? This ain't got nothing to do with the American Indian Encyclopedia. It's a little off topic though, but you see now, right? After all these riots and this shit happened with this so-called guy, Greg Lloyd, right? Now it's back to voting again, right? You guys gotta get the same shit. It was all about that from the beginning. Like all of this shit was basically just to make Trump look fucked up. And I ain't, like I said, I'm not even a pro-Trumper, but I definitely, I'd rather have him. He got a little bit, whether you hate him or you dislike him, he was better than Barack Obama to me thus far. Fucking George Bush, like even like I said, just him just cursing motherfuckers out or whatever. That's what these motherfuckers is really about. That's what they really about. Like, you never seen the what's the show he be in? What the fuck is the name of the show he be in? Where he be telling I can't think of them. You guys know what the name of the show fucking Trump is in. Whatever way he was acting the same way he act though, but this shit all the whole time been about this. Now they're gonna get you, well, if you want to keep on getting black men killed, you better pick Biden. Well, let's check Biden's check record out. Oh, you made the crime bill. Okay. So you the reason why police was engaging on motherfuckers from the get-go. You the reason why niggas had first person contact with the police. You know what I'm saying? To the point to where this nigga was getting 3 fucking strikes, and now it's back to voting again. Well, we gotta get the lesson to the evil. If you if you don't remember how many people died during the whole time Obama was in.
Yeah, it was especially a lot of police stuff.
Bro, it was like a motherfucking. It was you can do the best of black men that got killed, black men who was unarmed that got killed during Obama campaign, and you'll have a whole stray of videos. We talk about all of the videos that all of the stories we heard prior to the one we just heard. The last 3 of them, Brianna, the dude Aubrey, and now this dude Lloyd, and you know, it be other ones that be happening too that we don't hear about. But these 3 particular joints that just came out, the Lloyd joint, I'm already fixed on it. That shit is fake. I don't care how many people say they know him or whatever. I'm not buying it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. Something is definitely very weird with that. I'm saying the little ass fucking casket dude was in and everything, though. But I just wanted to just touch on that you don't find that weird though. Like that they back to you gotta vote. So what the fuck do voting gotta? What is voting going to do at this
That's
point?
right. Especially when you got a whole society of people that can run a fucking biological scam. You know what I'm saying? To get people to think that people dying off one thing when it's a multitude of things that people just, these doctors and nurses was just neglecting people on that agreed to at this at these times during so-called flu season or whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Like, if this is what we're gonna continue to go through, and I don't know, I'm happy with life. I appreciate life, but the way this world turning out and the way these people playing, and if they is out here dropping biological diseases and bacterias and shit, man, like, hey, man, you know,
Yo, hey, look, they listen. Like I said, man, right after that fell impeachment, which they knew he wasn't gonna get impeached. Then
right,
this shit walked right up on the fucking corona, right? First Kobe, and then as soon as Kobe died, then this coronavirus came. Right after the so-called impeachment, after he so-called, and I'm not like I said, I'm just peeping game.
right.
Like I'm just looking at it all or whatever. But like I said, man, I'm about to do a video tomorrow or probably within the next couple of days, and it's going to explain a lot of shit. A lot of shit. It ain't, and this ain't just no shit that you hear other niggas saying, well, I'm about to do something. I'm dead serious. This shit will show you that the Bureau of Indian Affairs was made by white supremacists. The Bureau of Indian Affairs, where all you niggas say they want to go back to, oh, we got to go there. It was made by fucking the KKK, the same people who run the Democrats. All this shit is a goddamn fucking like I don't know what you want to call it, but it's not what you think it is. Exactly. So I mean, if you want to go on tools, go on tools. But just wanted to just put that out there for the most part. Um, we'll be dropping something on that tomorrow. So,
Right, man. You're right, man. It's wild out here now, man. Like I say, and then you still just dealing with everyday life still, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that stuff still going on. I ain't gonna lie, it's crazy. It was a few things that happened during all this so-called pandemic or whatever, man. But now that things is opening back up, and I guess trying to get back into the flow or whatever, man. It's been some wild stuff going on, man. Like ever since, man.
oh, they was saying they was doing this shit to shut down the small businesses. So these big business, and I ain't really see too much evidence. Like I look and see what I see proof of, but they did shut these small businesses. It's like it's no way that you can shut the state down, and then you do got all these small businesses. How was these people making a living during that time?
Right.
And then they said that it was about they said it was about what? So I heard another story saying that the shit was about, let me get it right, the pensions, either the pensions or Social Security or something to that effect. I'm not, don't quote me on it, but you probably could find something similar, or what I'm saying got a source to it. I just can't think of it right now. Right. So a lot of elderly people was dying, right? That would have probably been getting their pensions, or you can get, but you can get your pension anytime. Anytime you got a certain amount of years in, so you could be in your 40s and get your 50s and get your pension. But I just found that to be strange though. But a lot of small businesses was knocked out, bro. I'm telling you, I'm looking like where I'm at. They shut all the shit down, and the only thing is open is liquor stores, the pharmacists, and supermarkets.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the only thing open, and food and places where you can go, you can get food from. And you can't go inside. So, I mean, you can go inside, but shit. I was looking at, they opened a beauty supply store, and they wouldn't even let the people came, and it was raining hard as hell the other day. You can see women standing outside, and while the dude running the store and get like, what kind of shit is this, man?
Yeah, man. That's what I'm saying, man. It is crazy, man. Like, hey, man, if motherfuckers really gonna be living like this, and then just think about it, all it'll take is for them to be like, okay, it's over now. The coronavirus is now over, and we now have a vaccination, and everything go back to normal. Won't nobody even be talking about no goddamn thing. Like that's what's crazy. Just like how they, like you said, with the Floyd situation. Back right back to talking about voting now. All over
Look,
the media. You
and
know what
and you know what? You know how I know that the Democrats had something to do with it? Because what all they listen, once I seen Nancy Pelosi and them come out there with them kente cloths, I said this shit was all fixed, brother. So I said, because they never gave no attention to nobody else that got fucking killed.
okay.
Ridiculous. Like they never, you seen Bobby Rush and them in the Senate do some fake ass shit for Trayvon Martin. People saying that shit was a hoax. And like I said, you only can prove or let, and if somebody family member is family members with these people and you interview them and you can find out that they legitimate, these people really existed, you can show me a video camera or video footage of this person alive or some shit like that, then maybe I believe you. But these people will say that they went up in Sandy Hook and killed 27 people along with children or whatever. And I know that's probably a cold word or whatever, like for them to listen out though. But that situation right there, and then the FBI said nobody died, and you're like, wait a minute, let me find. You go to the motherfucker, you go to the FBI website, and you go click on it, and they got the shit on there on the FBI website saying it was a drill. So if it was a drill, what is this shit you put out here? So that's what I'm trying to say. Maybe just like that picture that's lingering around to show you of the so-called American Indian that's on his own land, and we don't know what he really saying to these people, but they would take that and say, "Oh, look, this is a black slave." You know what I'm saying? This picture right here, and we just read about the tobacco, about how they came here and got the 20 pounds of tobacco, right? This picture right here. They would show you this picture right here and tell you that these white people brought him here to be a slave, yo. That's what they will tell you it is, man. And I'm not saying the people in the chat room, but just they will tell you it is that these people brought this man here, and they will keep this up as a lie. So you think that they can't fake a nigga putting somebody's knee, and then the thing about it is the shit. It, the dude kneeled on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, right? Minnesota is the twin city, right? That's what they call it, right?
Yeah.
The first building in Twin Tower fell at 8:46 a.m. Right? These are all codes these people be doing, man. And it's like, you know what I'm saying, you know, the dude with the gematria or whatever. The gematria all go back to the Kabbalah, right?
Yeah.
Then the Kabbalah is all ancient Phoenician and Sumerian science, man. Like, that's where all that Hebrew and Jewish shit come from. All the Hebrew and Jewish shit come from the ancient Sumerian and Phoenician fucking system, yo. All of it. All of it. All of it. All of it. It all comes back from that. And that's why them motherfuckers over there, the real people who be studying Judaism, that's claim they Hebrew, they study the Kabbalah, the tree of life.
Yeah.
They study the tree of life like the Sumerians. Sumerians had a tree of life. And this is where they get it from. The Kabbalah gets it from. This is where the Hebrews think their culture come from. But the Hebrew culture is the Sumerian Phoenician culture. And they don't, and Hebrews don't even understand that. The Black Creek stone is not Hebrew, it's Phoenician. But people think that shit is Hebrew. This is not, that's Phoenician. But that's a whole nother story though. But this picture right here, they will show you this picture. But we talk about great Black scholars, people who people respect. Like a Skip Gates. A Skip Gates will show you this picture right here and have you believe this is a black slave and these white people brought him here to be a goddamn slave, right? But now look, check this out real quick. Just go back on the tobacco shit real quick before we go to tools. We go to tools and we'll finish it out and then we'll come back and finish the rest of it out sometime this week, right? Let me go back to what's the name real quick. All right, back right here, real quick. It says after, now listen, now it's saying that in 1617, the Jamestown colony had a tobacco planted along the sides of the streets and markets, right? It's saying after the harvest, they shipped 20,000 pounds of it back to England. Now, all along, they're not telling you, so who was doing this? Because I swear, where did they tell you the first slaves landed at? Jack?
Us.
Huh? They tell you the fate first slave story landed where?
Woke up a little bit, bro.
Can you hear me? Mic check. You?
Yeah, you good now. You was breaking
They,
down. It
they
chopped
tell
up a
you.
little bit.
I'm
It had
sorry.
started buffering.
Hold up. Yeah, just let me know if the buff is, because I can't see that. But they tell you the first slave story
Yeah.
in Jamestown. In Jamestown in 1619, right? But they telling you at the same time
Yep.
they shipped 20,000. So who came here and shipped it? So the European came here. The European will honestly lie to you and tell you that when they got pictures of this shit right here, these people right here is the same as these people if you know the science, if you know the history of it. And now
Right.
it's the same as this person. The same shit. He just don't have his own feather crown. This is him without the feather crown. I'm not saying this is him exactly, but
Yeah.
same thing without the feather crown. And these people working with the feather crown with a pipe in their mouth. And that saying, so you see that white dude, you've been programmed, oh, that white dude is the boss, and the rest of these dudes is the peon. You see what I'm saying? And then you don't even know, well, wait a minute. Oh, these niggas came here and they had 20,000 pounds shipped back to England. And these are the niggas who was fucking, they was selling the product. This is what they was doing. That's why they tell you the first technology thing with in America was the agriculture. It was agriculture. And they get showed you in 1776 that it was a dispute over a so-called agricultural commodity known as tobacco, right? And that's what they get said that was led in some parts to the Revolutionary War.
Yeah.
All right, then. So if you look, so all right, so agriculture, okay, boom. Then they tell you, okay, well, the so-called Indians was the greatest agriculturists that there was here. Not no fucking Africans. You see what I'm saying? But they would sit here that. Go ahead. What you were saying?
No, I was saying you right.
Oh,
And then
it's
like you said, 2 years before the so-called 16. Come on, man. Like, man, 1619 is supposedly when they had the first imported the first slaves, so-called slaves, right?
say that again.
What is supposed to be 1619?
1619, brother, was the first. You know what I'm saying? 1619. That was when they first supposed to have bought the first slaves here, man. But it wasn't slaves, it was people that came
Right.
the island, the Dominican Republic. You know what I'm
The
saying?
20 odd Negras.
Yeah. And they take that story and then let it to being however many people there is today. And then people
Yep.
they run with that because they don't know the history. They haven't went back and did none of the aspects or none of the research the you know what I'm saying, to at least see if it's at least line it up with the information you got from school. But I mean, it is what it is, man, with this, man. But maybe you want to go into tools, man, before we get out of here. Because
Yeah.
tools nothing important going, but just to show and prove, and yeah, they is running some shit to where they trying to get you to vote. You're gonna end up voting for Biden again, right? Like, and no one is putting that. And then, like, that's every commercial come on. Cause I be listening on my end right here. Al Sharpton come on every Sunday, right? And he be having a call in, and every now and then I'll be sneaking in, right? And I'll be like, yo, I asked Al Sharpton, I say, that the Democrats is founded by the KKK, right? And so he gonna try to tell me because after Lyndon B. Johnson gave passed the Civil Rights Act is when black people started voting Democrats, right? I said, you know why that happened, right? He said, yeah, because Lyndon B. Johnson passed it. I said, no, because they was rioting and burning the fucking cities down. Like the fake shit they doing now. So they found a way to get, they found a way. This is what these motherfuckers did, right? Back in the 60s and 70s, them shits was organic. Them was real people burning real shit down. It wasn't no Antifa, it wasn't no Black Lives Matter, it wasn't no George plants or nothing. Now what they did was they able to stare and direct it. Because now you gotta go put a fucking permit out to go, you gotta do a permit to do a protest, right? Them protests back in the 60s and 70s, you ain't need no fucking permit. You
Right.
think you think the motherfuckers, you think they was going up there go get a permit to go protest? And you think, nah, that was how they was protesting. Now they want you to go get a permit. So if you go get a permit, they can use these antagonists and have these niggas in the crowd and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, you see some of them videos, little white girls and Indian girls with hoods on and masks over their face spraying Black Lives Matter. Like, yo, you should catch them and whoop their ass. So, like, get your ass out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, real talk. But that's what I'm saying. Like, people not, it's not peeping. People not really doing work. When I seen Nancy Pelosi and the rest of them scumbags come out there with kente cloth, I said, that's cool. That's they on cold. Look, this is what this shit always been about. It's always been about trying to get the Democrats, the Democrats, the KKK, the Dixiecrats, the fucking Albert Pike organization. The niggas running around here, oh, they listen, it's all the same shit, according to what I see. You know what I'm saying? It's all the same shit. I don't know what's going on. Trump, for all we know, Trump could be all in right in with all of this shit. And I mean, it's a good possibility, but I see some things that's happening that's weird. You know what I'm saying? That's not consistent that I've never seen before. But maybe the whole draining of the swamps is another decoy. That could be a decoy too, but you gotta just wait. Cause we don't know what these people got this shit planned in some type of scription or code words, probably fucking 100 years ago.
Yep.
At this point in time, you're so far behind, you just gotta pretty much just try to hope everything turn out good, right, Jack?
That's right.
You ain't got no control over what's going on. Only control you got over is yourself for now. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's how I look at it, man. You got to definitely be on point and just what these people be doing, man. Because it's always now after this guy dies and shit, and then all these people come out, and then you got to look at the players, man. The nigga Mason is an agent, man. He's an agent. He's an agent. Him and the chick Tamika Mallory. They're all agents. They're just stand up. They got different moving parts. They got people that's out there to have you riot, right? So you can look at them, and once you see them rioting, you like, okay, well, anything he say, I'm gonna go with it. So if I hear him say something like, right, Jack. They,
That's right.
they
It's
let
like
these go ahead, build on that real quick. I'm gonna grab some water.
it's like just like okay, to make it simple, man. It's like I said, it's like having a phone. You got the phone in your hand. You can dial up anything. You can call anybody you want. So now it's like they got a frequency that emotionally attach everybody. Basically based off adrenaline, and basically it's like they got everybody on dial up now. Cause why? Because everybody got a phone. Everybody on social media. Everybody, can easily share. It's easily sharing information. So not only information, but bullshit also as well. So let's just look at it. Okay, we see how everything digital. You know what I'm saying? They took away the films. They took away the carbon disc. They took away, that crystal needle that actually recorded and gave you actual real sounds and frequencies from carbon. They took all that away and everything digital now. So it's like all they gotta do is get everybody on one frequency. So if they get you on one frequency, then it's like, well, boom, okay, now look over here. So everybody turn their head over there. Okay, so boom, here come another dial up. Boom, look at your phone. Now everybody looking over this way. You see what I'm saying? It's like real life, real deal mind control right in our faces. And a lot of people participate with it willingly because of the adrenaline, the emotional attachment, the frequency that they don't mind being on. It's a thick line when it comes to hate, greed, lust, you know, being envious, you know what I'm saying, jealous, you know what I'm saying, starting trouble, being, spiteful. All that stuff is real thick. It's a real thick line. You know what I'm saying? Like you can easily catch those waves. But the small wave frequencies is what we doing now, man. Breaking this doggone cycle of
Hey,
mind control.
look,
Man.
enlightened ones put Trump was going to green. Juneteenth is a code word that the Democrats use. There was no June. They try to say Juneteenth was after Emancipation Proclamation, but who was emancipated after the fucking Emancipation Proclamation?
Right.
So I know most schools, I know most history, most thing you read is going to tell you black people, but that's not right and exact. And even when you read, when you really start getting into what Lincoln was saying, Lincoln was fighting against Rome, yo. And Lincoln was fighting against Rome, and then you find out that they got so-called conspiracy theories that the Rothschilds had something to do with Lincoln getting killed. You like, whoa, wait a minute, this shit is starting to get eerie now, because all these conspiracy theories is around dealing with the America. They try to make you think it's dealing with Nazis and all that. No, it's way before that shit happened.
That's right.
Way before that shit happened. And like I said, people they don't know about this shit, like, cause they don't do no research. They don't have no clue. This shit is way before all of that shit happened. You know what I'm saying? Like that Greenwood, I mean, come on, man. Black Wall Street was there before them people got out there.
That's right.
Before the European even came out there. Like so you think that the European was so racist, right? As racist as you see him is now, and as racist as you heard he was back in the past, right? So we hear stories about him being racist, which we can see him sicking dogs on people, water holes and firebombing people. We can see that now. We can see that with the move and all over. We can see that all over, right? So this is what you think. You think that after the Emancipation Proclamation, these same people that were so ruthless to enslave you and do all these horrific things allow you to set up your own cities, or was them cities already set up? See, that's when you got to start using your brain. Like you didn't know that they told me that. Hold on, who is they? Come here for a minute. That's when you hit them up from upside the head with a sock. You know what I'm saying? Like homie the clown. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, look, man, come here, man. Someone that said, "Come," like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, come on now, think about it. It's $57 million, and this is shit you can research and find. You can pull up the free man's bank and see, and none of these smart idiots will sit up there like, well, how could they have $57 million in the bank after the emancipation? The same year the Emancipation Proclamation was over. But these niggas is getting beat by the whip. Nigga, get that shit, nigga. Nigga, get it. Get it, nigga. You better get that, nigga. Ain't that how they show it to you?
Yep.
And if they ain't showing it that way, they programming you with God. God told you that you were supposed to be a slave. And then you find out, wait a minute, he couldn't be talking about us. Because the slave is not us. The slave is them. Because that's the history. And I could tell if this was just a theory, but you got other Europeans saying the same shit. And I don't think that they trying to say that to get reparations. I think they saying that because that's the truth of the matter, what really is happening. You know what I'm saying? Europeans ain't saying that. When you look at Michael Hoffman, he's not saying that shit to try to get no reparations. And he's say, wait a minute, this is what I heard, or this is the truth. And then you got to really look at the history. Like, wait a minute, man. You told me you people was enslaved. Then we see these pictures right here, people on the plantation working. These turned out to be Indians that was just producing the crop and selling it, right?
Right.
We just read some other information where they tell you that the Revolutionary War was over some people dressed up like Indians and pushing some tea over in the water or some goofy shit like that, or Crispic addicts who was African American and Indian or whatever. Like I said, man, it's like the whole history. Everything is a fucking theory. Unless you get it the way that these people then reconstructed it and handed it back to you, man. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
yeah, they're gonna try to get you to vote Democratic for people who do vote. People like, oh man, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't vote. I don't have no president. I'm not part of no corps.
You know how they do? They like to, at least take turns. They can't just keep it Republican. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, they shut the whole government down, bro. Like, this shit is serious. They shut the whole government down and didn't feel no remorse. You think people can't? You listen. If you got a small business, right? And you got small business, that's the only way you can take care of your family. Okay, even though they done suspended like mortgages and certain rent places and courts and everything, eventually that shit gonna be back up. And they ain't giving you no money to pay that shit off after your business. Your business is how you generate money to take care of your family, right? That's what you gotta just for some. You ain't gotta just to be motherfucking buying a pack of Newports every day and a fucking Cisco or whatever the fuck niggas drink these days. What Belvedere? No, I ain't gonna say Belvedere. Man, Hennessy or whatever fucking white liquor or whatever the hell I hear people out here drinking these days or whatever. That ain't what you got a small business for. Obviously, you gotta pay taxes. You gotta save up money for inventory. You gotta have cash for, you know what I'm saying, for change and for exchanges, and you know what I'm saying. So there's a lot that goes even a lot go into even a small business, right?
Right.
So, um, my assumptions would be that, you know, obviously that it has something to do with it, because there's no way that these people could be surviving. Yeah, that's it.
Man, what's that?
I don't know, man.
Sound like a gunshot, eh?
Man, I don't know what the fuck it is. I'm just looking down and shit.
Oh, that's somebody.
Might be some fireworks though, but that shit loud as hell. But yeah, but that's what it is, man. It's gonna be some fake ass. So that means they set all this shit up, my dude. They set it all up, bro. They set it all up, and they got all their moving parts, all their moving flunkies in these moving positions. You never heard Oprah ever talk about any of these black men that got killed. None of them. She could have made a platform instead of talking about R. Kelly and the rest and Michael Jackson and everybody. She could have been talking about these unarmed men that got killed. She said nothing. Now, since somebody then gave the go ahead for everybody to talk about it, now all of a sudden, hey, you think these people ain't breaking protocol? Because you ain't never seen none of these this many people come out and say nothing. So it was probably a memo that went around like said it's okay for everybody to talk about this one, to say that okay, yeah, black people being all this extra shit. And like I said, and that shit might have something to do with just reparations. Niggas are asking for reparations, period.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That could be a trick so people wouldn't be able to ask for that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, the
I think just like you say, man, like, I know, like, see, the frequency game is real, man, because, like, that's why I don't, I like to keep it real informational and keep it on a level to where people can actually build and really apply, what I say and what we use, because they really is like, they really trying to, because they listening, and it's like we can't show, it's like we really only supposed to give them like a fingertip. You know what I'm saying? We aren't really supposed to show the whole hand. So it's like let's, that's why I don't really get too deep involved with a lot of the, law bills like that, because you don't really want to show anybody how you're gonna conduct yourself in the art of war. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I ain't gonna get into it like that, man. To each
Now
his
you
own.
good. You
You
good, yeah.
know.
You good, you good. I'm just saying, I just was saying about like you don't hear no, I'm just saying like as far as the media, like just think back. Let's think would be for real, right? Well, even Sean Bell, right? Sean Bell was like one of the first ones. Him and Abla the Wing, but it was probably hundreds of black men who got killed, probably between the '60s and the '70s and now, bro. Like, yeah, I mean, thousands and millions of them, right? So I'm just saying, it's certain ones that stick out that you never hear. These celebrities, none of these people never talk about none of this shit. Like now, it's just everybody. Like it's some, like I don't know. Now all of a sudden, everybody care, everybody because it was some type of memo that was probably given out through the media that it's okay to touch on this topic and show empathy, you know what I'm saying, for niggas. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you.
That's what it be.
That's what I'm talking about. I ain't saying like it's like no, like a lot of them shits be fake, man. I'm just telling you, like, bro, a lot of them. I'm not saying some of them shootings. That's the shit they show you. Like that Laquan McDonald, that might have been real, you know what I'm saying? But some of them other ones that they show you, you don't know what's going on, man. I don't believe a lot of them. A lot of these, like I said, I to this day, that Corinne Gaines shooting, that shit will look the suspect. Like, you know what I'm saying? I was on it. I mean, I see other people talking about it, and I just started peeping little strange shit. Like, nah, there's no way you can do this, man. No way you can load no gun and you can't load no shotgun and hold a motherfucking phone up at the same time. Right? Like for a gauge, you can put them things in there and then load it up and still be on Instagram.
Nah.
Yeah, unless you got a GoPro on it's no way you're doing that. But it's a lot of stuff that you just look at that a lot of this stuff is meant to extract energy from you. You know, having you feeling all empathetic over some shit that never really even happened. You know what I'm saying? People buy into it. You know, they definitely buy into it. Say no more here there. Yeah. I mean, that's how it is. It ain't even hitting. It's just like you can see it in plain day. People looking at a lot of this stuff, man. It ain't just like people asking their own questions. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Their own questions. They see people wanted to get the fuck out the house. They wasn't trying to stay in the house. And now what? Then soon as the riot. And now they saying what? Now they could line about more numbers about the COVID going up. Saying, oh, people catching COVID because they was out there protesting. Right?
Right.
What? I mean, like if you look at it, that ain't,
You just get pants like you gotta be prepared for the setup, man. If you out here sleepwalking, and like I say, you just running off adrenaline, you know, if you still laughing at people who retarded and stuff like that, man, you know, you might need to do some more self-sustaining. But that's really what they're taking away from it, you know what I'm saying? Taking away your self-substantiation. To think for yourself, do for yourself, you know, take care of yourself.
and hey, look, I'm gonna tell you another show. Like I think that Charlemagne and them, somebody allowed them to have certain like because the people that they be having on there for them to keep that platform, their producers will have to let them come, and they do it in a way to where Charlemagne and them really don't understand. Like, they might just be listening to what these niggas that's coming on there saying about white people. And then, you know what I'm saying, using that as some type of intel or data or whatever, because they let people come on there and talk their mouth. And I've never seen so many black people out in the public, and you see people on the radio and these certain athletes and all these people, they're able to say things that I never heard people say before. The only people I've never heard Al Sharpton say some of the shit. Some of these niggas been saying.
Yeah.
So definitely, man, don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. It's always, we gotta vote. We gotta vote. So who? All right. So okay. So who are we voting for again? Okay, niggas. All right. Well, okay. They said they want reparations, but I said if how many people? So, all right, let's say they give niggas reparations, right? But part of the reparations is you a lifetime African American. You know what I'm saying? You're a lifetime United States African American for life. That's the contract.
You won't get no social security for your next 3 generations.
Shit, you won't be able to claim you're indigenous. To how many people does it really matter to? Because if it does matter, like you should find ways to try to manifest living like that. Like that's what it's all about at the end of the day. Trying to change, I guess for me is is trying to get out of the system that basically binds you to have you bound to contracts and commercial contracts. It is all dealing with the instruments that you already possess that you give them in order to basically access these so-called, how do you say, privileges. But you know, I mean, that's a whole nother conversation, a whole nother bill though. But definitely we're gonna finish this up probably sometime this week or whatever though. But yeah, they like to end it off sometime just with some, you know, with a bill or something that's going on that's in the news today, or that's, you know, that's locally. Like, you know, this whole thing been, like I said, soon as the year changed or their year changed, because our year's in March, whatever. But when their year changed, it was impeachment, then it was Kobe, then it was coronavirus. Then after the coronavirus, they showed you the black dude running and him getting shot down. Then you heard people talking a little bit on that. It wasn't a lot though, but it was, you know, you hear the normal people talking. Then the shit with the girl, like you didn't really hear too much about nothing. Right? I mean, you heard a few things about that, but you mainly heard that her husband got locked up and then he got released. Right? Then this shit happened. They walked this nigga across the street. They handcuffed him according to what people said, according to what I've seen myself. But you know, some people said he wasn't handcuffed. I don't know. They handcuff him, walk him across the street, put him in the car. He's in the car. Next thing you know, he's outside the car, and now this nigga got his knee on his neck for 10 minutes. Like, come on, man. Like,
that just yeah, that's yeah, man. See now, I'm not even gonna lie, man. I'm gonna be honest. I never really heard the full story of how everything happened because if it happened to one of my people, man, you know, I just don't want to ever have. It just don't need to. It should never happen. You know what I'm saying? And y'all just, probably might not hear Jag voice ever again. I'm gonna tell you that now. But it's just one of them things where, I don't, like I say, I really don't even be tuned into because it's like it's gonna happen so much, man. To where it's like I seen it coming. Okay, now y'all telling me the police literally left his knee in somebody's neck and cut his wind off to where he, you know, I don't want that to happen to nobody. Period. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm sitting there recording, or if anybody can see that, somebody's supposed to be telling the officer to at least get some more help. And what happened to straight jackets and stuff like that? You know what I'm saying? I thought, hell, down here they hit you with the thugs in. You get to acting too crazy. They ain't trying to shoot you and shit. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they might hit you there. You might end up a little weird, and you have to get yourself, straightened out. But hey, we ain't really hear about too many people getting shot by the police like that down here like that, man. Like, I'm just being real, man. I really think if it did, like, it'd really, really,
no,
really
but
be bad.
they don't have no footage of him doing anything that would warrant him ended up with putting his knee on his neck. Like, they don't have no footage of him
None of that. Yeah.
throwing no elbows or spitting on them or violating them in any type of
Putting his knee on his neck.
yeah for that to happen. So you gotta look at just like, I mean, sometimes you gotta use their method, man. You gotta you gotta use some of their science to add into the equations of the unknown that you can't figure out, right? Like, cause sometimes you can't see, we can't figure out why would a cop have his knee on his neck. But if the whole shit was made up or was some type of skit, then it would all make sense, right?
Right.
So so the unknown is, well, most people be like, well, why would he have his knee on his neck that long? Because the shit wasn't even real. That's why. And then police came and picked him up in the ambulance. And then they had a closed casket, and the casket was the size of motherfucking Gary Coleman. Like
Really though?
you ain't never seen a casket how big the casket.
Telling you, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Hey, hey, man.
Oh shit. Oh, damn, son. Like, yeah, but nonetheless though, man, we gonna get it done, do another part of this probably sometime this week. So that being said, man, we out, man. I'll holler at you guys later. Peace.
All right.